Now, I was listening to this other podcast. I'm not going to name them because,
No, you weren't. There are no other podcasts but ours. Everyone finds theirs through ours. We are the one true
well,
podcast.
this would
That
be
is
one.
accurate. I like that, Peroty.
This would be one that you would find through ours. Now, they had a
Well, there we
listener.
go.
They had a listener call in, and he's from England, and he was talking about going bowling and different size bowling balls and things. And he asked the hosts about, what size bowling balls that they use and different questions about that. And one of the hosts actually said, "Do you have bowling over in the UK? Is it a thing? How long's it been there? Because when I visited it, you didn't have bowling." And I had to message them and I had to tell them, we only got bowling like 3 years ago when John Wayne came to visit.
Welcome to Two Titans and a Hunter, a Destiny 2 podcast. Dedicated in bringing you all the latest information, news, and opinions. This is the best show for new and veteran Guardians alike, where we share tips, tricks, and tools to help you succeed and enjoy playing even more. So with all that said, let me hand you over to your hosts, the Triumph Hunting Titan Nitdemon, the pink-panted pansy Peroty, and your Hunter Master Ranger, Mr. No One Respawns in Real Life!
Before we get into the whole silliness and everything like that, I think we should give a moment of silence for the commander. And that'll do it. Okay, so for all of you that don't know,
made it a whole moment, everyone. Good job.
Yeah, the hunter actually gave up one moment there.
I did. Especially when somebody when it happens in real life, right? That's not cool, And people were messing with us the other day. Said you had to say something about it the other day. I meant the NPC, not the IRL voice actor. Let's clear that up, okay?
You meant the character in game, not the human man behind it. To be clear, putting this out into the world. Someone check on Gina Torres, make sure she's good.
No, it's not Gina Torres anymore, is it? It's somebody else.
I thought it was Gina Torres. I was actually looking, and I found an article from Dexerto, DEXERTO.com, that was published March 15th, 2023, so like 3 days ago, with every voice actor in the game. So they could be wrong. I don't know.
They did recast Torres because she was unavailable, unless she came back.
That's what I was trying to remember, because again, you try to search for something in Destiny, and you've got 17 years of Destiny articles.
Yeah.
So either check on Gina Torres or whoever the new Gina Torres is.
No, but seriously, it's a complete shock, I think, to the movie world, at least. I mean, poor Lance was scheduled to go on TV interviews to do with the new John Wick film. He'd only just pulled out of doing the premiere, so obviously he didn't feel very well, bless him. And it was a complete shock because you guys were posting about it in the chat, and I completely missed it until I think Peroty said something. I was like, hang on a minute, I've got to go and check this out.
Yeah, right. Like, I was literally on with Nodarf yesterday, running him through the campaign.
Yeah.
And Pan texted me, and he's like, Lance Reddick died. And I was like, no, he didn't. No, you're no. And I went right to the internet. It's like, okay, no, there's enough reputable sources and sites that, this is message from his spokespeople and, PR staff, whatever. It's like, oh no. Because he was only 60. Like, he wasn't. Yeah. Like a lot of celebrities come and go, and I was like, oh yeah, they died. That's sad for their families and everything, because obviously they're real human beings, they're real people.
Yeah.
But they don't really hit me. But him being part of this game we've been playing since 2014, and I hadn't quite realized until I went back and looked at all the things he'd done, just how many things I'd seen him and enjoyed him in.
Oh yeah,
going back to The Wire, Fringe. I mean, the John Wick films more recently. Like, just the amount of stuff he's done. It's like, oh, you've been like low key a part of my life for a while now.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the dedication that he put into Commander Zavala was unbelievable.
He did. I'll never forget the whole Kaido thing, dude. To me, that was the best thing, honestly, in his career. You know what I mean? Like, the way he took his time to become Zavala and just give Kaido the psychological smackdown is one thing I'll never forget. You know what I mean? It was beautifully well done. It was masterful. And I often wonder, did he write that? No, he didn't write that himself. He just read it. That's right. But still, he took the time out of his day to voice the commander and then read that out loud for everyone to hear, and it was great. He was a man that not only worked hard, but he knew how to take the time to spend time with his fans and to be just like a regular guy.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
And if you've just joined us in the middle of the show, this is the Two Titans and a Hunter, but we are just giving appreciation to Commander Zavala, Lance Reddick, for all he did in the movie world and even in the gaming world, because there were several characters that he'd been or voiced in loads of different franchises.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah,
Dead Space, I think, was one of them too, if I'm not mistaken. Could be wrong. But either way, yeah, he's been in a lot of video games. But unfortunately, IRL, the man has exited this world. So give credit where it's due. Good man, good voice actor. Just overall good part of the community as far as what we know. We don't know his personal life, but from what we've seen.
I mean, he was
guy.
always positive about Destiny, and
Mm-hmm.
I know it was like a funny thing that he would always play. Was it a warlock? Wasn't it?
It was a warlock, yeah.
Yeah, he would always play as a warlock, and he would post videos about playing a warlock, Commander Zavala being a warlock, and we'd all have a good laugh about it. And I think that's the whole thing. It's a complete shock to everybody. There's gatherings in the tower. People are spending like hours at Commander Zavala in the tower at this point in time, just paying tribute to his character in game, which is really nice.
It is, and people are already making jokes about how Ryan is gonna voice the Ghost, Cade, and now Zavala.
Ryan,
Nolan Ryan, yeah. Nolan. Oh my God. Nolan Ryan. I'm thinking baseball. Holy crap.
Nolan Ryan was a pitcher for the Texas Rangers and Houston Astros back in the 90s, so I don't think he's available to voice act. But
wow,
maybe,
you got a lot of baseball lore. I'm kind of impressed, Peroty.
I follow baseball before computers were a thing.
Ask me if I've got baseball lore.
No.
Do you have baseball in your country, Nitdemon? Does the UK have baseball?
No, because we're not allowed to. We're not allowed into the World Series, so there's no point in actually having it.
Are you really not? Is that a real statement?
The quote World Series that's comprised of 1.5 countries.
Yeah.
I don't watch baseball. I have no idea. So
if I had to support one team, it would be the Toronto Blue Jays.
Why the Blue Jays? Out of curiosity.
It's not an American team, I guess.
No, because my auntie lived in Canada, and when she visited, she bought me a Blue Jays hat when I was younger. So that's the only team that I ever knew for quite some time.
Well, there you go. Yeah.
There you go.
And Respawn, the World Series is basically the U.S. and a couple teams in Canada, ignoring the rest of the world.
But I've seen baseball. I mean, baseball is freaking huge in
America,
Puerto Rico, in Japan. It's enormous.
Yeah.
I love it in Japan for some reason.
Yeah, but
I assumed World Cup would include all those guys.
No, World Cup's a different sport entirely. That's a sport that England definitely has.
I'm not in the World Cup. World Series.
I just point out that Lance Reddick also voiced a character from 50 Cent Blood in the Sand, the world's greatest video game, next to Destiny.
Is that the one where 50 Cent was a fight? No, that was something else. What was that game where all the rappers were like Mortal Kombat fighters?
That was a different one, but this was 50 Cent and company were basically guns for hire trying to get his crystal skull back.
Okay. Is it a 50 Cent game like the rapper 50 Cent?
Yeah.
Or the game cost 50 Cent?
Well, I mean at this point now. I think both. Yeah, at this point I think the answer is yes. But no, like it is 50 Cent, DJ Woo Kid, Tony Yayo, where you could absolutely be 50 Cent and get his crystal skull back, which is just a very, very silly game.
I mean, you need the crystal skull though. You got to have it.
It's important.
It's a part of his persona, right? Very big part. You can't be 50 Cent without a crystal skull, I think. Anyway, so back to the world of Destiny. We have lost our commander, unfortunately.
What do you mean?
But,
back to the world of Destiny. We are in the world of Destiny. We've been talking about Lance Reddick.
We are
talking, and we haven't introduced ourselves. So, would you like to introduce yourselves, guys?
Yes. My name is No One Respawns in real life. I am the official Hunter Vanguard, and I have with me two tremendous titans of Titany, who, let's be honest, are two of Zavala's best work, right? I have, to my left, Peroty, who is known for his shenanigans, and to my right, I have Nitdemon, who on the show seems quiet and all-tempered, but when you get him out of the show and into real life, boy, does he have a potty mouth. I'm telling you.
Lies. It's all lies.
I have it on recording, brother. You forgot that.
I have a stiff upper British lip.
Oh, you do, and that British lip can say things.
It can get down and dirty when it wants to.
Indeed,
It can.
but yeah.
So,
And
shall
this-
we kick the show off with telling people about what's happening this week in Destiny?
What is happening this week in Destiny? Yep, go ahead.
Hello and welcome to the 4th week of Season 20, Season of Defiance, starting on March 21st, 2023. So for week 4, let's have a look at our legacy rotation, starting with the Forsaken expansion.
Ready if you are. Let's see what's out there.
The Dreaming City this week is at a strong curse level, which means Petrovenge can be found in Rio Silvia, and has the Dark Monastery mission for the next week. The Blind Well features Taken enemies and the Plague Inomina. The Ascendant challenge this week will be the Keep of Owned Edges, which can be located over in the Harbinger's Seclude on the Dreaming City. Next up, the Shadowkeep expansion. On the Moon, the weekly story mission is in the Deep. The Trove Guardian is located in the Hellmouth. The Wandering Nightmare is the Nightmare of Hawkis in the Anchor of Light. And the Nightmare Hunt this week will be Skolas, Pride, Fanatic, Insanity, and Omnigul, Anguish. For our Beyond Light expansion, on Europa this week, Praxis, the Technocrat, will be the Empire Hunt. Cadmus Ridge will be the Eclipse Zone, and the Exo Challenge will be Safeguard. For the 30th anniversary expansion, we have the loot rotation for Dares of Eternity, which will be on week 4's rotation, with the Scatterhorn armor set and the Pathfinder armor set being available. The weapons available this week will be the Stasis Precision Frame Shotgun, Factor-This, the Solar High Impact Frame Auto Rifle, Krajua Milo, the Stasis Precision Frame Hand Cannon, Vulpicula, the Arc Precision Frame Bow, Wolftone Draw, the Solar High Impact Frame Fusion Rifle, Iotona Draconis, the Solar Rapid Fire Frame Heavy Grenade Launcher, Canis Major, the Arc Vice Rapid Fire Frame Scout Rifle, Contingency Plan, the Kinetic High Impact Frame Pulse Rifle, Legal Action 2, the Solar Rapid Fire Frame Heavy Grenade Launcher, Outrageous Fortune, the Void Adaptive Frame Sword, Steel Syllabus C14, and the Kinetic Lightweight Frame Sidearm, Spoiler Alert. For the Witch Queen expansion, the Witch Queen weekly story mission is the Communion, where you will have Barrier and Unstoppable champions. The Wellspring activity has been updated to include a featured Throne World weapon, Veritas armor, and a weapon pattern as its rewards. For the Lightfall expansion, the weekly mission is No Time Left, and the Vex incursion this week will be in the Liming Harbour. In addition, the weekly Lightfall reset also refreshes the pinnacle drop for the Node Override Avalon exotic mission on the EDZ. Raids and Dungeons. The Kingsfall Raid challenge this week is the second encounter, War Priest, called Devious Thievery. Players must steal the brand of the initiate within a couple of seconds of taking the brand claimer's buff. The Vow the Disciple challenge this week is the first encounter, Acquisition, called Swift Destruction, where Guardians must kill all champions within a few seconds of each other on all rounds. The Deepstone Crypt challenge this week is the third encounter, Taniks Part 1, called Of All Trades. Guardians must perform each role at least once, Operator, Scanner, and Suppressor. The Garden of Salvation challenge this week is the first encounter, Embrace, called To the Top. This is where you must not kill the Cyclops that spawns near the Consecrated Mind. The Last Wish challenge this week is the second encounter, Shirochi, called Witch Witch. Guardians must not get hit or take damage from Shirochi's Arc Blast. Your pinnacle raid will be the Vault of Glass in the Legends tab, which means all challenges will be available for each encounter. These are the first encounter, Confluxes, called Wait For It, where every Yellow Bar Wyvern must be killed as they sacrifice themselves to the Confluxes. The second encounter, Oracles, called The Only Oracle For You. Players cannot destroy the same Oracle more than once. The third encounter, Templar, called Out of Its Way, where you must keep the Templar from teleporting. The fourth encounter, Gatekeeper, called Strangers in Time. Players must defeat the Praetorians and Wyverns at the same time. The 5th encounter, Atheon, called Ensembler's Refrain. Each player teleported can only destroy one oracle in each spawn set. Also, with the Vault of Glass being the featured raid, this does mean that you can farm the final boss for a chance at the exotic fusion rifle, Vex Mythoclast. And the pinnacle dungeon for this week will be the Shattered Throne over on the Dreaming City. Next up, challenges. So for week 4, we have All That Matters. Complete week 4 of the We Stand Unbroken quest for a War Table upgrade and Challenge XP+. Cunning Liberator. Defeat 75 combatants in the Defiant Battlegrounds playlist using energy weapons. Earn bonus progress if they deal void or arc damage for a War Table upgrade and Challenge XP. Focus Defiance. Decode or focus Defiant engrams at the War Table during the Season of Defiance for a War Table upgrade and Challenge XP. Strand Weaver. Complete the Final Strand quest, also rapidly defeat 100 combatants throughout Neomuna. Bonus for sidearm final blows for Challenge XP++. Mod Collector. Unlock 12 artifact mods for Challenge XP++ and Bright Dust. Momentum Crash. Defeat 50 Guardians in Momentum Control. Earn bonus progress with Zone Advantage for Challenge XP+, and Bright Dust. Razor's Edge. Defeat 60 targets with glaives, 30 with swords, and 100 with bows in Gambit. Earn bonus progress for defeating Guardians for Challenge XP++ and Bright Dust. Darkest Nightfall. Complete any Nightfall on hero difficulty or higher for Challenge XP+, Bright Dust, and a Nightfall weapon. And Precision Calibration. Calibrate 200 marksman weapons, scout rifles, sniper rifles, and linear fusion rifles by landing precision final blows. Bonus progress against Guardians for Challenge XP+, and Bright Dust. And speaking of Bright Dust, we have our 4th ever verse of the season starting on March 24th, 2023. Available this week for Bright Dust, we have the Trap Setting Exotic Emote for 3,250 Bright Dust, the Overcharged Shell Exotic Ghost Shell for 2,850 Bright Dust, the Stasis Entrance Legendary Transmat Effect for 450 Bright Dust, the Lion's Pride Legendary Shader for 300 Bright Dust, the Iridescent Coral Legendary Shader for 300 Bright Dust, the Pick a Card Exotic Emote for 3,250 Bright Dust, the Limitless Subversion Grips Ornament for the Hunters, the Cognate Beak Gauntlet Ornament for the Titans, and the Technologic Gloves Ornament for the Warlocks, each for 1,200 Bright Dust. The Wanderer's Shell Exotic Ghost Shell for 2,850 Bright Dust. The Lone Howl Exotic Sparrow for 2,500 Bright Dust. The Prometheus Osp Exotic Ship for 2,000 Bright Dust. The Blooming Guilt Exotic Weapon Ornament for the Exotic Submachine Gun, the Ostrostriga, for 1,250 Bright Dust. And finally, the Infinity Door Projection Legendary Ghost Projection for 1,500 Bright Dust.
Hello!
As a reminder, your daily lost sector will show you a flag outside which will give you details of threats, shields, champions, and exotic armor you will find inside. But if you are new to the game or you're using an alternate character and can't find the flag outside, you will have to run through the lost sector normally to have it show up on your map as a legend/master, which you can either do solo or with a fire team, but you will only be able to earn a chance at the exotic drop when completing solo. Tuesday, March 21st will be the Conflux on Nessus for exotic helmets, Solar Threat, Void and Strand Surges with Void Elemental Shields, Overcharged Trace Rifles with Barrier and Unstoppable Champions. Wednesday, March 22nd will be the Thrillerdrome on Neptune for exotic boots, Void Threat, Void and Strand Surges with Void and Arc Elemental Shields, Overcharged Grenade Launcher with Barrier and Overload Champions. Thursday, March 23rd will be the Hydroponics Delta on Neptune for exotic gauntlets, Void Threat, Solar and Strand Surges with no elemental shields, Overcharged Rocket Launchers with Barrier and Unstoppable Champions. Friday, March 24th will be the Gilded Preset on Neptune for exotic chests, Arc Threat, Solar and Strand Surges with Void and Solar Elemental Shields, Overcharged Glaives with Barrier and Unstoppable Champions. Saturday, March 25th will be the Excavation Site 12 on the EDZ for exotic helmets, Solar Threat, Solar and Strand Surges with Arc Elemental Shields, Overcharged Swords with Barrier and Unstoppable Champions. Sunday, March 26th will be the Skydock 4 on the EDZ for exotic boots, Solar Threat, Solar and Strand Surges with Void Elemental Shields, Overcharged Shotgun with Barrier and Unstoppable Champions. And finally, background to Monday, March 27th will be the Quarry on the EDZ for Exotic Gauntlets, Void Threat, Solar and Strand Surges with Void and Solar Elemental Shields, Overcharged Grenade Launcher with Barrier and Unstoppable Champions.
Lead the way.
Our fourth featured Nightfall will see us face off against the new Brakazan in the refreshed Armed Stealer Nightfall, where you have a chance to get a pinnacle engram if you complete the Nightfall with a score of 200k or more. You will be able to earn high-end gear for your characters, including the Nightfall featured weapon, exotic gear, enhancement cores, enhancement prisms, and ascendant shards. The higher the Nightfall difficulty, the more common the drop will be, with the featured weapon and exotic gear being uncommon at hero difficulty to being common with ascendant shards in Grandmasters. The Grandmaster Nightfall difficulty will return on April 11th. Your Nightfall modifiers are hero difficulty, maximum effective level 1765. Matchmaking is available. Enemies have extra shields. Champions foe. You will face barrier and unstoppable champions. You can either use intrinsic exotics, use a subclass debuff, or unlock anti-champion mods from the seasonal artifact. Solar elemental threat, 25% increase to solar incoming damage. Pestilence, Scion spawn void grenades on death. Overcharged weapons. Weapon overcharges from the seasonal artifact are active in this activity. Kinetic weapons do increase damage when your subclass element matches the active surge. An elemental surge, 25% bonus to outgoing elemental damage. Strand surge, 25 bonus to outgoing strand damage. Overcharged weapon, 25% bonus damage to a specific weapon. Galvanized, combatants have more health and are more difficult to stun. Legend, maximum effective level is 1815, includes all previous modifiers. No matchmaking. Equipment locked, you will be unable to change your equipment once this mission starts. Master, maximum effective level 1820, includes all previous modifiers. Champions mob, this difficulty adds more champion enemies. And Famine, all ammunition drops are significantly reduced. To combat champions this season, you have access to subclass counters, as well as a choice of intrinsic anti-champion artifact mods, which are Anti-Barrier Pulse and Anti-Barrier Sidearm, Unstoppable Scout Rifle, and Medieval Champion, where glaives fire projectiles that stun unstoppable champions, swords stun overload champions on consecutive hits. You also have exotic weapons and armor that can help with intrinsic mods as well. For Anti-Barrier, the Kinetic Bow Wishender, the Kinetic Linear Fusion Rifle Arbalest, the Kinetic Pulse Rifle Revision 0, the Solar Energy Hand Cannon Eriana's Vow, the Solar Heavy Sword The Lament, and the Titan Exotic Gauntlets Second Chance, which gain a second charge of your shield throw melee, which becomes shield piercing and stuns barrier champions. For Unstoppable, the Kinetic Fusion Rifle Bastion, the Kinetic Hand Cannon Malfeasance, the Solar Energy Sidearm Devil's Ruin, the Void Heavy Bow Leviathan's Breath, and the Hunter Gauntlets Athras' Embrace, which have a chance to stun unstoppable champions with their empowered weighted knife. Next up, Lord Shaxx brings Momentum Control to the featured Crucible playlist for the 4th week of the season. Momentum Control is a 6v6 PvP mode which is a variation on the regular control mode, where every weapon is significantly higher in lethality, meaning that you can take out your opponents much faster than normal. Respawns are instant, and defeating enemy players in Momentum Control will grant faster regeneration on your melee, grenade, and super. Players get increased damage resistance when activating a super to help counteract that little bit of extra damage that the guns give out. The mode also has increased capture speeds on points, and radar is removed for every player. Achieve victory by capturing zones and defeating opponents.
Delightful!
And Valos Forge returns to the tower for the first time this season, bringing with him the Iron Banner. This is a week-long free-to-play Crucible event, which means that there will be no Trials of Osiris at the weekend. Power level is disabled, meaning you can go into Iron Banner with whatever weapons and armor you would like. Iron Banner also brings with it challenges and a seal to become an Iron Lord. Each day for 4 days for each character from Tuesday Reset, Lord Saladin will give you the opportunity to receive a pinnacle reward. By hovering over the Iron Banner node on the director, it will tell you how many games you need to play and with what subclass you need to equip to complete it. You can either play each day and collect each pinnacle, or you can wait until Friday Reset to play all the games that you need and receive all 4 pinnacles in one go. From 3 for your first pinnacle and up to 18 games in total for all 4 pinnacles. As a reminder, pinnacle rewards will give you +5 to your power level if you are below the power cap of 1800, But if you are 1800 and trying to reach the pinnacle cap of 1810, then the pinnacles will give you a +2 in light. Players can rank up with Lord Saladin to receive rewards from his reward track, and equipping any Iron Banner armor, ornament, or weapon plus Iron Banner emblem will progress your progress faster in ranking up. This is multiplied if you complete the daily pinnacle challenges as well. For the Iron Banner gear boost requirements, all 5 pieces must be equipped as gear or ornaments for it to take effect. This season of Iron Banner will see Bungie change things up a bit, with each week of the season being a different game mode. For our first week of Iron Banner, we will see the return of the good old Iron Banner control, where 2 teams of 6 are pitted against each other to control 3 stationary fire pit capture points scattered around the arena. Capturing one zone will get you +1 point, capturing an additional zone will get you +2 points, and capturing all 3 zones will give your team +3 points. This also applies to kills whilst holding the zones. 0 to 1 zone will get you 1 point per kill, and 2 zones +2 points per kill. If a team captures all 3 zones on the map, that team will activate the hunt, which locks both teams out of capturing the zone for 25 seconds. The team who initiated the hunt will earn 3 points per kill, whilst the hunted team will only earn 1 point per kill. After the 25 seconds have passed, all zones will become unlocked and teams can recapture the zones again. A mercy rule can be activated if one team reaches 60% score before the other team reaches 20%. With Iron Banner's return, this also means that you have another chance to become an Iron Lord. The triumphs for this are Jolder's Victory, win matches in the Iron Banner playlist across all events and seasons. Ganora's Seal, acquire Iron Banner armor. Each piece must be unique to count towards the total. Ormond's Taste, acquire Iron Banner weapons. Each weapon must be unique to count towards the total. All-Wing Spirit, earn points by completing objectives in Iron Banner playlist modes. Frostmire's Will, complete Iron Banner challenges. Criminal's Dedication, reset Iron Banner rank twice. Jorum's Hout, complete Iron Banner matches whilst wearing at least 1 piece of Iron Banner armor, earn additional progress for each piece of Iron Banner armor equipped. And to gild the title this season, you have 5 triumphs to complete, which are Glorious Howl, win Iron Banner matches, earn additional progress for each piece of Iron Banner gear equipped. Again with Feeling, reset Iron Banner rank. On Point, earn points by completing objectives in Iron Banner playlist modes while using a Strand, Solar or Void subclass. One and Done, complete all 4 Iron Banner challenges in a single Iron Banner celebration. And Down Dear Friend, defeat 200 Guardians in the Iron Banner, earn bonus progress for using Iron Banner weapons from the current season. The 2 returning Iron Banner weapons this season are the Bite of the Fox Aggressive Frame Sniper Rifle, which has a base impact of 90, range of 70 and aim assist of 41. It can roll with Vorpal, Opening Shot and Explosive Payload, with no distractions, Slick Draw and Snapshot sights, and has the origin perk Skulking Wolf. While at low health, Guardian Final Blows with this weapon grant enhanced radar and remove you from the opposing radar. And the Durham's Claw Adaptive Frame Pulse Rifle, which has a base impact of 29, range of 49 and stability of 50. It can roll with Golden Tricorn, Frenzy and Kill Clip, with Moving Target, Outlaw and Gutshot Straight. It also has the origin perk of Skulking Wolf and Suro Synergy, where reloads grant this weapon a bonus to handling and reduces incoming flinch for a short time. And finally, there is also double XP in the Vanguard playlist this week. So if you want to fast track in getting that sweet new ritual weapon, the Ecliptic Distaff Glaive, and Vanguard ornament, the Aegon Spindle, then this will be a good start. And that's it for the 4th week of Season of Defiance. Now, back to the show.
Guardian down.
What happened this week in Destiny? Not Iron Banner, but in fact Trials, because Iron Banner is next week in Destiny.
No, but that's what I'm referring to. This week is this week coming up, isn't it?
This week coming up, the actual Iron Banner week.
Yes.
The real life Iron Banner week.
I'm so excited. Iron Banner is back.
And
I have not managed to get my other 2 characters through the story yet, because as I said, that the kids were on holiday. Well, the kids were on a break because
Blame the children. You're correct.
Yeah. So I had minimal amount of time to play, and it was literally jump on, do the video for this week, and then that's it.
I bet.
Because it was Iron Banner Fortress, and now it's Iron Banner Control again. And again, if you're new to the game, you need to understand how Iron Banner Control works, because you may have been around for Rift, you may have been around for Fortress, but you may not have been around for Iron Banner Control, which I know is the OG kind of Iron Banner. But if you just joined in Lightfall, you're going to be like, hang on a minute, there's fire pits. Why are these fire pits locked? Why are they hunting people? And why are the kills suddenly skyrocketing and we're losing? So you kind of need to know these things.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was interesting. They, like you said, they finally gave us some information on Iron Banner. And which one is it? Yes, all of them.
Now,
Depending on the week, all of them.
all of them. Do you think that this is their way of getting out the fact that they didn't come up with a new game mode? Because we'll get onto it in the 12, but they do mention the fact that this Iron Banner is the place to kind of try out these new game modes, but we're going to go back and just do these 3 that you've had over the last couple of years for the next season. Do you think? Next season 21 will have a new iteration of Iron Banner, and this is just like their kind of cop out of, okay, we'll just put, because we've got 3 Iron Banners, we'll just do the 3 different variations that we've got in the oven now.
With Iron Banner, is it still gonna have the freelance option?
No. Well,
see, that's what bugs me.
No,
like you can have your different kinds of Iron Banner, but why is freelance rotational?
No.
No, because they fixed matchmaking. They fixed it. It's fine now.
They fixed matchmaking, so they've
removed solved
the solo node. So you just click the one Iron Banner logo, and if you're solo, they try and match you up against other solo people.
See,
it's the same with
that word there.
now.
What was that word? That dastardly word starts with T and ends with rye, right? I don't like that word when Destiny uses it because it's used very loosely with them, I think. And every time they say it, it's like an excuse. Well, we tried. But you suck. You know?
They did try. You can't say they didn't try. You can say they didn't succeed, but they absolutely tried.
I feel like I'm talking to my son here. It's like, I don't care if you tried. Did you do it? Yes or no? You know? It's like, I did my best. I don't care if you did your best. Is it done? Did you accomplish the goal? No? Then get out there and do it. I don't care if you tried, you know?
That's what they're doing. They're trying, and then if it doesn't work, they're going to get out there and do it. They're going to take your feedback, and they're going to, do something else next time around.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so if you've rejoined the game in the last, month or so, and you'd seen beforehand that we had Iron Banner, and then there was a single-player mode, which then pitted you up against other single players. And the same with Trials. They used to do that with Trials, and they used to do that with Competitive. It's all now just all in those nodes. Bungie have apparently fixed it so that you won't run against 6 stacks now. So it will just be you versus other 1 and 2 players, maybe 3 players.
1, 2, 5.
Make up the teams. Have you guys played Trials this weekend? I'm going to guess no. But then in our Discord, we've got players that have been going in solo and actually getting 2 flawlesses. AZ as an example. I know he's a good player in himself.
Carries win. Come on, easy. Carry win, huh?
What? Hey, have you guys placed? Have you done your Iron Banner stuff? Have you placed?
Sorry, Iron Banner.
You're saying a lot of words that are not related to each other.
Sorry, not Iron Banner. Crucible. Have you placed in Crucible?
Do we have to do that every season?
Didn't do it last season and haven't touched competitive this season. I've played a bunch.
No.
I actually got on with Andy.
No, it's not competitive. Isn't it just normal Crucible you place now after playing 5 matches or whatever? No,
that was competitive. Competitive, you have to play 7 games. And after the 7 games, you've got the Rose hand cannon. And then after that, every single week that you play, you only have to play 3 games and you get another Rose hand cannon.
Okay.
But you can go up and down. I didn't know. Maybe you might have to place again every season just to see where you are, because they do reset it. And I know that you can go up higher. Sorry?
It hasn't yelled at me to do it this season since I played a total of 4 competitive games last season, so I never even played the 7. And it hasn't been like, hey, you should go get in there and do it. So I don't know if they just forgot or if it'll do.
I thought it started this season though. I thought it started with Lightfall.
No, last season. Last season there was a whole quest of a thing and something bugging me every week going, you should go play your 7 games and get placements. And I go, no, I don't think I will.
I know it sounds like to the average kind of listener that's only just joined us that we don't play Destiny and we have no idea what's going on, but we do honestly play Destiny.
We just don't play PvP, or I don't.
Respawn doesn't play PvP. Peroty and I play PvP, but the problem is that I've got a broken wrist and I haven't been able to play as much. Peroty likes to play a lot more PvE until it comes to Iron Banner, and then we kind of get our groove on. So Iron Banner coming back next week. Hopefully, we'll get our groove on, be in Iron Banner, play a lot of Iron Banner. Then, over the season, hopefully, we'll be able to get into a lot more PvP talk. But I think, it's just that there's been so much. I think listening to other podcasts, a lot of people have said, the first week was really underwhelming for Lightfall, even though I found there was so much stuff for me to do. And then the second week, they just went, here's an exotic mission, here's a raid, here's loads of other stuff, and kind of unlocked loads of other stuff. And it's like, there's all this stuff that you can do, and you can do it on your 3 characters. And there's just so much in the game before I've even touched PvP. And that's why I'm quite glad that, Iron Banner's moved another week, because it does give a little bit of breathing room.
Yeah, for anyone who doesn't have enough to do, they're clearly not looking down the numerous quest lines I'm looking down, going, which of these things do I need to do? When will I have time to do all these things?
So many, guys.
There's so much to do. There's so many exotic weapons to acquire, pretend I'm going to use, and then probably forget about in a week.
Or Bungie disable them within a week.
No, honestly though, the little sidearm, that little sidearm does work, Peroty, for real. The little exotic sidearm that we have?
I just got it yesterday, so I haven't fired it yet, but I own it now.
Dude,
and this is how much
since
it's sidearm,
sidearm freaking anti-barrier, you can take it into most activities. The little thing does work. It really does.
Unlock sidearm anti-barrier. That's silly.
Okay, fair
anti-barrier is for pulse rifles. That's where it lives.
I think this pistol is this pistol it just hits so hard, dude. For a primary sidearm, it hits ridiculously hard for no reason.
Your exotic sidearm.
Yeah.
No, if I'm going to use my exotic slot,
sidearms,
exotic homing sidearm, and if you sight in, it's an exotic sidearm that does extra damage. It's just it's nutty, dude.
Just trust me, right? Next week with Iron Banner, set yourself up as a sidearm build and take in sidearms. I mean, take in your pulse rifle or your auto rifle as your primary, but just mix it up as your secondary in either slot as a sidearm. You won't regret it. Even if you go like Boudica C and you're gnawing hunger in your second slot, or
Boudica C is really good though. So I mean,
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Boudica C in your primary slot, which is a fantastic sidearm that you can get from like just Gunsmith or like.
Oh yeah, no, there's many of those I've deleted. I might have kept one of them.
Right.
Oh Jesus, I hope not, because Boudica C's got more range than anything else in the game, dude. For a sidearm,
I'm not arguing with you that sidearms are bad. I'm just saying an exotic sidearm. It could be a great exotic sidearm, but you gotta sell me hard on an exotic sidearm.
Right.
Okay.
I have
so many other delicious
honestly,
options.
use it because all you do is hold the trigger down, bro. As a Titan, you want to talk about immersion? Hold the trigger down. It targets enemies for you and shoots them and homes in on them for you, dude. Not only do you not have to do anything, you don't even have to aim, Peroty. It does the work for you.
Aiming is not the problem. It's the reloading that's the problem.
Well, when you aim, at that point in time, the gun does extra damage.
Bullets to be enough? Come on. 21 bullets? What am I going to do with 21 bullets?
Well, a lot of damage, actually. like for a champion, those 21 bullets will take a champion 3/4 of the health away. So, yeah.
Yeah.
It does a lot of damage.
Yeah, I mean, I will absolutely get around to using it. The problem is you've given me a Quicksilver Storm catalyst that I need to complete, which I've done. Then you give me a fancy new bow with a catalyst that I feel the need to complete. Then you give me a fancy new machine gun that weakens enemies when I use them. Then you give me a Two-Tail Fox catalyst that dropped that now I feel the need to complete. So, I mean, it's going to have to get in line. Like, you shouldn't give me all these exotics if you want me to focus on the newest, hottest one. And I don't even have the one that's disabled yet because, well, it's disabled. And also, haven't even done that quest for it. So.
Yeah, 2 glaives, 2 exotic glaives that you can get.
They're still disabled? They're not disabled anymore.
I don't know. I don't have them either way. So, enabled, disabled, it's all the same to me.
And a bunch of weapons that you can go out and craft or go and get to then be craftable, to then level them up, to then put the perks on that you want. And people are saying there's not enough in the game. There's so much in the game. And
these people need to stop playing 8 hours a day if there's not enough for you to do. Because
let me tell you, even if I had 8 hours a day and I'd done everything, my mission would then be to help other people do things.
Yeah.
And go, right, let's get you through the raid. Let's get you through this dungeon. Let's get you.
Speaking of which, you do need to do the raid. The weapon Peroty. Loading. You don't like to reload, bro? The new freaking auto rifle. can come with over 210 rounds in the magazine that every 5 seconds puts 10% back in, bro.
Perfect.
All right? And then you have options with this gun, right? So you have options to where after the first kill, you get 20% extra damage on that gun, like forever. You have another option where you get multi-kills with this thing and start shooting threadlings out everywhere. You have another option where if you have just the gun is amazing, Peroty. The auto rifle is
you don't have to
fantastic.
sell me on the idea of raiding. I'm all in on the idea of raiding. Like this is not the part that's lacking here. I agree with you that I should be raiding. That's not the problem.
There's no problem. There's no problem with agreeing with Respawn that we should be doing raiding. There's a lot of things that we should be doing. It's just the time factor.
Yeah, there's tons of things I should be doing.
What's the name of the weapon, Respawn? So that people
Rufus's Fury.
Okay, it's the one I highlighted last week, I think, in one of the videos.
Yeah, and even if you don't get the coveted reconstruction roll, you can still get rewind. Which, guess what? When the magazine's empty, it refills it for you.
I had a 7 Seraph drop with reconstruction on it this week, and I was like, "Oh, I should look at you before I just delete you outright."
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's the thing, isn't it? There's a lot of reprised weapons or weapons that have been in the loot pool for quite some time that have now got updated perks. So rather than just kind of delete them, you have to actually go into them and look at them because they may be an amazing role for you. So, yeah.
Acacia's Dejection, it's a freaking solar, what do you call it, trace rifle, right? And it has so many good roles, including, but not limited to, reconstruction with incandescent, right? So 220 rounds with incandescent, no big deal. Right?
Incandescent is so much fun. It's so much fun.
Yep, so you can get that. And again, you can get the whole harmony roll where after you get the first kill, you get a 20% damage buff forever, right? I mean, the trace rifle gets a lot of stuff too. And again, 200 round magazine that refills itself every 5 seconds. No, not refills itself, but puts ammo back every 5 seconds. Who needs to reload, right? I mean, just the raid, guys. Even the sidearm is. There's nothing in this raid that isn't good weapon wise. I think, like they're all just so good. And the best part about these weapons is they synergize with each other. The more raid weapons you have, the better all the raid weapons are overall because they have an intrinsic perk called harmonic resonance. They all do. And what it does is equipping multiple weapons from this set grants this weapon increased reload speed and handling. It also deals increased damage to Tormentors, Lucent Hive, and Guardians using their super. First of all, T-Rex, the armor's crap. Stop saying that. But the weapons are amazing.
No one raids for the armor. Let's be honest here.
No. You aim for the armor to get the good armor. But have you seen this armor? The Warlocks have 3 arms on one side. The Hunters are just... We're not going to get into that. It's Bungie dropped the ball big time. The Titans are the least bad. And when I say the least bad, I mean in no way, shape, or form it is good. But it is the least bad of the 3.
Are you telling me multiple arms is bad? Because I'd love to have more arms. If I have more arms, can I dual wield now finally?
No, they're just there, and they hold these like little potions or whatever, which makes it worse. If they were empty, at least you can imagine they're holding guns or grenades or something. But they are static, and they have these little stupid potion-looking things that just sit in there forever, right? And what's worse is they didn't have like one arm on one side of the body and then one arm on the other. No, you have one arm on one side of the body and then 3 on the right side.
Well, those should be on the left side.
Oh, whatever side they're on, they're not balanced. And for someone like me, who aesthetics is so important and symmetry is a big part of my OCD, having 3 on one side and 1 on the other. Oh, it drives me so nuts. But yeah, so forget the armor. T-Rex is delusional. I don't know what's wrong with him.
Screen leads slightly to the right whenever I shoot with this armor on for some reason. I don't quite understand. It lists.
It sure does. But yes, dude, one of these days, instead of doing a podcast, we should do like just a raid, the 3 of us, next Saturday. Well, next Saturday.
3 man in a raid. You heard it here first.
The 3-man raid. No, the 3 of us.
Going to 3 mans through a raid.
No, hold on.
If our community get behind this and say, you guys can go off and do a raid rather than give us a podcast each week, then I would be down for that. But I know our community would love us to continue to do a podcast because they like hearing you rant about things.
We could do both.
We can't.
We could do both.
Trust me, you are the only person that I know that can play the game and do a podcast at the same time.
It's only because I have
Peroty
two
and I did
monitors,
it,
though. I have two monitors. I can see both.
I could do it I could do it if I had two monitors, but I wouldn't be able to give you a quality podcast.
Do you have extra
when it's
monitors?
my
in
turn to
the
read,
UK?
I just hide into a corner, try not to die while I read, and if I die, oh well. You know? If we have to wipe and restart the encounter, well, it happens.
There you go.
But
Peroty,
yeah.
exotic sidearms. Trust me when I say this. Devil's Ruin. Devil's Ruin
It's
is
pretty good.
amazing in PvP.
Yep.
It is like having a mini Jotun. Now, you can fire it as a normal sidearm, or you can just hold that button down and go for that pyrogenesis.
Jotun? You mean linear fusion, right? No, not linear fusion. Trace rifle.
No, but it's like having a mini Jotun.
It doesn't track. It's just shoot straight, though.
It doesn't need to track.
The
It
tracking isn't. See, some of us can aim. We don't need the tracking. We just aim.
Yeah, just aim.
Aiming ruins my immersion.
But Devil's Ruin is fantastic. It is amazing. You've got to try it. Trust me.
I mean, again, it's not that I'm totally against the idea of an exotic sidearm. It's just that they've given me 57 new exotic weapons, and they expect me to find time to play with them all and give them all equal love, or at least some love, before I throw them in the vault and never to be used again. I'm even enjoying the stupid exotic bow. When I was like, this is stupid, and now I'm like, no, this is fun. I can turn you into crystals, then suspend you, and then turn you into green ice cubes, and everybody wins. It's very silly. Yeah, I'm just waiting for someone to put out a good PV. Tell me what to run in PvP. Dear Destiny creators, tell me what build I should use on my Titan in PvP, or my Warlock. Either way, I'm not picky.
Sidearm and whatever other weapon you want.
Right, but what should I pair that with? What subclass should I be using? What exotic would make this better?
Are we talking PvP exclusively here?
Well, you could use Strand.
Yes, because there's a trillion PvE builds.
Okay, so PvP, you want the Devil's Road. It's
Plunder the Booty has told me what to run in PvE.
And
I need
that is your
PvP
favorite auto
plunder.
rifle, because Devil's Ruin is a
Is
energy, right?
Yes.
So put on your best primary
Sounds
auto
like.
rifle, so you never have to load, right? And then as far as classes go, there are mixed feelings. I've been watching a lot of Grenadier Jake, and there's a lot of mixed feelings when it comes to Strand in PvP. When you suspend somebody, they're only suspended for like a half a second, and they have their regular movement regarding like being able to aim and shoot you, even though they're suspended. They don't get slowed. None of that happens. That doesn't mess with their aim. They're just a little higher, and they're still shooting you, right? So there's that. So probably just going with what you know as far as PvP goes, because Strand, from what I understand, unless you're a hunter flying around the map, you're not much more for the wearer. Now Warlocks, with all their 5,000 trillion freaking threadlings, they're a menace. Okay,
But John Wicks.
Yeah, right. But as far as like Titans go, I just go with what you know. I think, people are talking a lot about Arc Titans still being very strong inside PvP. So I guess if you're an Arc Titan, roll with it.
I would if you want to go in just as a bit of fun, try the Breakneck auto rifle. Now I know you might have to pull it back out of your collections.
I was going to say that's old, right?
Yeah, it's an old one because but you can still use it in Iron Banner. That's the greatest thing about them taking away the level advantage in Iron Banner, is that you can pull out all these old weapons that you couldn't use in Iron Banner, and you can't use in Trials, but you can use the Breakneck. Now, the Breakneck had a very unique perk, which was called Onslaught. So this weapon's rate of fire increases as you stack Rampage. And guess what? It has Rampage. So you stack the Rampage, and the Onslaught stacks up, and it fires faster and does more damage every time. I mean,
No, it does less damage the farther it goes. The faster it goes.
Yeah, but
the DPS goes up, but the damage goes down.
It seems to the wielder that you kill a lot faster, and using that, it's 450. It's a really good auto rifle because 450s have been touched and touched and touched, and I was using it last season and doing some really good work in PvP.
You know why, right? You know why it's good again?
Because Bungie made it good again.
No, because the changes Bungie made to
That's what I just said.
Because the overall perk Rampage has been changed, so that now Rampage is always Rampage with Rampage spec.
Yeah, no, I know that, but they
Yeah.
they touched the
Rampage is better.
450s. So also another one which is 450 is the Braytech Werewolf. So if you have that in your collection, that is a good one to look out for. I've got one with high caliber rounds, dynamic sway, and tap the trigger. So that was a good one with stability masterwork. I liked using that one. But if you want to go for a faster firing one, the Guiding Star, which you can pull that one out of collections. That one has moving target and high caliber rounds. Those two like perks have actually also been, or moving target's kind of been changed so many times, and it actually works really well now because it increases your movement speed and target acquisition whilst aiming down sights, and it's a very good PvP perk. So I like using some of the faster firing ones, or even what's the crate auto rifle 720 rapid fire frame, the Vice ones. You can get some really good rolls on that with Ricochet, Overflow, Vorpal. I know they've kind of just toned down the Vice Stinger perk, which is when you when you reload, it increases increases your reload speed, doesn't it, as it empties the mag? And I think they toned that down slightly because it was one of those things that was being it bubbled to the top a lot quicker on certain weapons, so they kind of nerfed it across the board. But it's still a really good thing to have on a rapid fire frame.
While we're on that subject, just so you
Yes.
know, Vice Stinger is still really good on multi-hit weapons. Like the 3-round burst linear fusion rifles, it's still an incredibly sought-after perk.
Yeah.
Just
I'm
so you
just
know.
saying that they were the ones, Bungie were the ones that said, "Oh, we're going to kind of tone this down because it's doing what it was meant to do, but we don't want it to do over the top kind of things." So
Yep.
yeah.
More than it was meant to do.
So yeah, I mean, you've got plenty of options there to. I'm guessing that the new sidearm is an energy one, is it, or is it a primary?
Well, what are you talking about?
The final warning strand one is a primary.
Oh,
It's
there you
primary,
go.
yeah.
Okay, then if we're moving on to then you've got Gnawing Hunger as an option, your 600 RPM in your secondary slot. If you're going with your auto rifles, you also have the Shadow Price, which is a 450, which you could get some good rolls from doing the Nightfalls. And then, actually, what am I talking about? Your Summoner. You love your Summoner, the 600 RPM solar auto rifle. Go with
Summoner's a
that.
good choice. Also, see every Destiny Fun Plays video for good Come to Pass or Sweet Sorrow rolls.
Yeah.
Because you can craft both of
I
those.
thought you hated reloading. I thought you would go with your Void with Overflow.
Well, I mean, it depends if the overflow hits hard enough. I can overflow, but if I'm still dead at the end of the encounter, it doesn't really matter when I'm 2-tapped with a hand cannon.
Okay.
So sometimes you have to, sometimes you have to play the game.
And I'm going to mix
sometimes the
things up
game
this
is-
week. Because we're talking about weapons and things, I'm going to mix things up. And you've mentioned Destiny Fun Place. Now, I know this was
I
something
have.
that Aztecross brought up way back when we were speculating about Strand and what exotics could work with Strand. Now, Destiny Fun Place did what other people were going to do. He took the Kepri's Horn, which is the Titan exotic that sends out that wave of fire, and then it comes back to you once you put out your barricade. He used that on a Strand subclass, and guess what? Pairs amazingly. So you tangle somebody up, and they get burnt by the fire, and then they get burnt again as it comes back.
So it does both?
Yeah.
having
What?
Bungie's greatest coup was making the ugliest helmet in this game something worth using. That I think they should be given credit for, if nothing else.
Well, you guys told me last time when we were talking about exotics how nobody uses that, and now you're saying that Bungie did a great job.
Because there was no reason to before. Like just having that as your exotic for solar, like why would you ever choose that? But now that I can get bonus solar on top of Strand,
Yeah.
then it's a delicious, topping on top of my pizza, not just a day old pizza that has anchovies and garlic or something out.
Mm.
I mean, Respawn, I'll put it to you. If you
Sure.
saw a Titan put up their barricade and they put out a flame wave along the floor, what would you do?
I'd be terrified.
No, but you jump over it. You just
I
jump straight up,
mean,
wouldn't you? And up over the
ideally,
top.
but
Exactly.
sometimes those hitboxes are wonky.
Okay, but
right?
then you can jump to the side. It's just one single line. Now, if
Yeah.
a Titan with Strand puts up the Strand barricade, you are tangled literally immediately. I mean, because that hitbox is quite wide. So you're tangled, and then you have this fire going underneath you and then coming back to the barricade again. And the thing that I completely forgot about it until he pointed out in his video was that solar damage kills recharge your barricade, which unleashes a barrel of solar energy. So if you pair that with the solar weapon like your summoner, you put it on your strand subclass with your sidearm, you're going to be tangling people up. You're going to be Kepri stinging people or Kepri's horning people, and it's going to be a really good one in PvP next week, especially with Iron Banner. And it's one that I think I'm going to try and use next week as well.
Yeah, that's one. I was listening to Dan Finity's Destiny Digest podcast when he had Matt Goes Buck on, who's been doing a bunch of. He's been on a PvP journey of basically trying to become a 1.0 KD PvPer. Matt Goes Buck is his name. Matt Goes Buck. If I can say it properly.
Yeah.
And he was talking about he also just does a ton of builds, and that's sort of his primary thing is he'll throw out build videos, and also talked about the Kepri's sting synergy the same way with Strand. And I was like, oh, Nitdemon told me about that, and other people told me about that, so must be not a bug. It's working as intended, at least until Bungie says no, you've had too much fun with that.
So if you imagine speccing into this with like 100 resilience and having your summoner on, which when you get solar kills with it, so once you've tangled somebody up and they don't die to the fire that goes underneath them, you shoot them with your summoner and they're done. That recharges your barricade even quicker. Imagine the repetition of this. I think this might kind of get nerfed if it is overused, but it may be one that Bungie
look at the glaive thing. That was nerfed really fast. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm incredibly jealous because Titans got to do that and I didn't. So ha ha ha. But still, I mean,
we didn't get a chance to use it. It's fine. So you're not ha 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 in us.
We didn't get a what?
Peroty and I didn't get a chance to use that build.
Yeah, well,
Astros did. And I saw his video where he was like, I'm not really upset that I've got 20 glaive builds and everything set up with this. Like, oh dear, somebody's a bit upset with that.
Oh, dude, he was very upset. Did you see at the very end, he takes a screenshot of himself, puts it on the screen, he goes, you see this, Bungie? This is happiness. This is what you took away from people.
And what made me laugh this week, I was listening to the Last Word podcast, because we're talking about podcasts, and they suddenly started going down the same track that you normally go down, Respawn, about the fact that Bungie seem to decide that they're going to nerf the fun builds, and
they are,
and hunters always get the nerfs. And now, I mean, they did say that the Titans have also started to now get the nerfs, but Warlocks don't seem to be the ones that get the nerfs at all because they're all a bunch of Warlock mains. I think
that's what I was
even as
I'm a Warlock.
No, Warlocks. Well, see, because Warlocks, as we said before, Warlocks are either super overpowered or so weak they're not worth playing. Warlocks are either feast or famine. They don't get one build nerf. They get their entire subclass nerfed. They get they get the. There's no reason to play 3/4 of this character because it's just not strong enough.
But one of the strongest things in the game right now, out of all the classes, is those necrotic grips on the freaking Warlock. Because with a glaive, any glaive, even your heavy glaive, so your heavy glaive, your energy glaive, and then you could choose one with Osteostriga, you can use that with any subclass, and it's going to wipe out entire groups of ads so easily. Even in in-game content, I was watching in-game content, and this Warlock was just deleting groups of ads in like not a Grandmaster, but the Master Nightfall. I was like, gosh, damn, dude, that is just, and here I am rocking, huh? Say that?
Yeah, so the Warlocks have one build they can run.
No, that build goes on any subclass up here. You don't understand. Strand, yes. Solar, yes. Freaking Void Bomb, yes. It doesn't matter what they use. They just need that gauntlet and the freaking submachine gun and a glaive, and they're good, dude. They're so good, and they could use it with anything. That's what makes them so broken. They're not limited to a subclass. It's crazy.
But they're so limited to things like that. Made me think back to Destiny 1 of must have Gallahorn. It's like, oh, must have necrotic grip. Oh, we don't have that, then don't bother.
Well, you also have the vampire one where melees heal them. So if you don't want necrotic grip, go with the melee so that you just stay alive all the time, right? So they have two options that use the freaking melee with the glaives, right? So, I mean, Warlocks are sitting pretty right now. And the fact that they have something that's so strong in the game and hasn't been touched is a little weird. I don't want them to touch it. Don't get me wrong. I like the fact that it's here. But it is weird that Bungie hasn't addressed it. And it's been here since we had glaives, dude. This has been working since we got glaives.
Yeah, but still, I think if you use the keyword glaive, now again, unless it's like super OP like the Synthesept glaive build was, because it's a glaive, it's going to limit the number of places you can use it and wreck the rest of the content with.
See, I don't think I'm a glaive connoisseur, just like I was a bow connoisseur. Y'all didn't believe me. People keep talking smack about the glaives, but the glaives are way better than people give them credit for. I'm telling
Right.
you. You
Right,
can use
but
a glaive anywhere.
but not that many people. Yeah, but that's the thing. It's not like everybody is ran into the day for one raid with 6 glaives equipped. It's not like it's the thing you're seeing used everywhere. I'm not saying it's not good. I'm saying it's not something 80% of the community is doing.
But
It's not like they've. Well, yeah, right. No, what happens? Well, they could. They could have done it with every single build anyone's ever.
No, what I'm
mentioned.
saying is they could viably do it without memeing.
Right. No,
Yeah.
right. Well, that's what I'm saying. But it is not the dominant thing. It's not. It is not the meta. It is not the thing that everyone is doing. Yes, it is good. It is not. You're not seeing every single person doing this, like you were with 600 RPM hand cannons, or 600 RPM auto rifles back when that meta. With the.
I think it's because they're just not educated, honestly, because like I don't know about Titans. I can't say for Titans because your Syntheseps was a really strong build, and even though it still works with Syntheseps, but to a lesser degree, you still get extra damage with glaives, right? So that's all I know about Titans. But with Hunters, I know 2 glaives give us infinite.
Why are you running 2 glaives? What's wrong with you?
Well, no, because I'll tell you why. Because they give you infinite overshields. They give you infinite of the healing on kill. What the hell is that called? Come on, help me out here. When you kill something, you heal immediately.
You're the one using the glaive. You tell me why it's good.
No,
tell me.
No, this
tell me
isn't
on
a
it.
glaive thing. This is an ability thing.
You're the hunter. You tell me why it's good.
when you consume a grenade, you get it when you consume a grenade.
Devour.
Thank you. Yes. So you get permanent devour, permanent overshield, right? So that's really good survivability, right? You get really good damage, right? It's offensive because you can shoot the glaive, or you can just straight up melee somebody with them to keep both your overshield and your healing going on. And on top of that, you can pop a shield anytime you want to reduce incoming damage from the front, dude. They're incredibly strong. And yes, I take one into the raid all the time. People make fun of me. You made fun of me last week. Watch no one respawn take a glaive into the raid. Yeah, watch me. It's strong, dude. On a Void Hunter, it's incredibly strong. On any Warlock, it's strong. On a Titan with Syntheseps, it's strong. But people just don't know about it. They think the glaive is just, a less powerful sword, and they could not be more wrong.
I didn't mock you. I took a glaive when I did the day 1 of Kingsfall, and the totems part, I was wrecking. I killed the witch, I killed the knight that dropped the brand. I was doing amazing, and people were actually asking me what I was rocking. And I was like,
exactly.
I've got a glaive, because
people underestimate the hell out of it, dude, and it hurts me to see this. They're so good, man. You just need to know how to use it. You need to know how to pair it with something. And then it's so strong. Void Hunters, there you go. Any Warlock, there you go. Titans with Syntheseps, there you go. And the glaive is the strongest thing you can have. And now that you can have 2 glaives, a heavy and a freaking special, it's even better, dude. It's whatever, man. Whatever. I fought a losing battle with bows, and now everybody uses bows. Eventually, everybody's going to use
bows as well.
You do, because you have to deal with me and you hear me rant all the time. But other people don't believe me.
Now, something that Cool Guy wants you all to do is go and check your vaults, because Zen Moment is now an S tier perk. Because
I heard that.
Bungie have tweaked it to, I would say, perfection. And he does a lot of testing and shows you, what it was like with beforehand and what it is like now. And I believe he was using a Horror's Least pulse rifle. That's the rapid fire frame pulse rifle with Zen Moment, and one without. And the one with was not getting flinched at all. And I mean, he shows you kind of what other kind of perks he has on him. But the Zen Moment is.
But it's not just that though, is it?
What?
So the Zen Moment now has anti-flinching, yes. But what makes Zen Moment incredibly powerful is in the past, as soon as you miss the target, Zen Moment would start over, and you'd have to ramp up again to the whole stability thing. But now, once you're off target, you hang on to Zen Moment for approximately a second. So as
Yeah,
long as you get back on target, you maintain all that stability and all that good stuff. And
exactly.
now it has unflinching on top of that. So
Mhm.
it's a beast.
And it stacks 5 times, so additional hits
Stacks
refresh
5
the
times.
duration.
Yep.
You know, hand cannons, scout rifles is 2, pulse rifle sidearms is 1.5, and other weapons are 1. But
Yeah.
just go and check your vaults. I mean, I found a tasty messenger that I've got in my vault that has got
Mhm.
Headseeker, which has also been buffed in the last season, Zen Moment, and Ricochet rounds with a ranged masterwork. I mean, I was using it last season before kind of Zen Moment had its, refresh, and I can't wait to use this now. I've got a really old hard truce, which is a submachine gun, a primary submachine gun, which has also got tap the trigger, Zen Moment, ricochet rounds. It's got 16 stability and 67 range for a submachine gun. Now, when I've used it before, there was hardly any kind of movement on the stability, and I can't wait to use it now with Zen Moment and tap the trigger as well. So I'm looking forward to those ones. So just go and check your vaults and find out, and I'll link the any of the videos that we kind of talk about or the podcast. We will link in our show notes as well. So
And you can actually craft a really good auto rifle because
we
it's really
can,
good on auto rifles. The Perpetualis, the strand one you get from the helm.
yeah.
Like I have one that rolls with Zen Moment and Target Lock, and it's kind of a monster.
Yeah, you can also get it on the Syncopation 53, which is a primary pulse rifle, the stasis one. That also can roll with Zen Moment. And I've got one again, Ricochet rounds, Zen Moment, and Headseeker, or
Mm-hmm.
enhance Zen Moment. Oh,
Nice.
enhancement.
Can't you get it on the submachine gun, the season submachine gun too?
Probably because
And
I've
is it good
got
on a
the
submachine gun?
submachine.
Does the submachine gun have enough bullets to really take advantage of Zen Moment?
Yeah, you can always put backup mag on there and really take advantage
You
of
get
it.
an extra 2 rounds.
Like a mag, a vice stinger. You can do something good with it.
Yeah.
I guess. I mean, I guess if you have fast enough reload speed, you could reload it before the Zen Moment goes away. Maybe.
Yeah,
Eh?
I mean, if you've got like the Titan pants, the Peacekeepers, where you're swapping out
That's right. Yes.
submachine gun
Yes.
for submachine gun and just keep swapping out the submachine guns. That also, I think that adds stability, doesn't it? It adds the quickness.
Yeah, it gives you inherent perks, inherent handling and stability, I believe.
Let me just check before I kind of go down the road of telling you what it does. So it reloads your stowed submachine guns and allows you to ready them instantly, improves your handling with submachine guns and your movement whilst wielding one, provides a moderate benefit to airborne effectiveness stat of submachine guns. Whilst holding the SMG, it grants 50 mobility, reduces ADS movement penalty to 9% from 25, increases sprint speed by 6.25, and increases the slide distance by 33%. So yeah, that's a good one to have if you can get those exotic pants for the Titans.
Slide sweet. That seems a little weird. I get well.
No,
What
you
was
want
that?
to slide?
I guess to get into CQC range. I guess.
I guess so. Now, I don't know if you've seen this video this week. Marshix put out a video of the perfect stats are now possible. Now, this is 100% in every stat distribution. Have you seen this
I
yet?
have seen that. Yes.
I have not. That's filthy.
It's
You know, and yeah, you get 100% by getting 70%.
yeah,
Eh, eh,
yeah.
eh. I've just
Wait,
lost everybody.
well, the way he set it up is that he's got. I mean, he shows you on his warlock. He's got perfect stats
Uh,
of 70 in every kind of uh, like all his armor
and all his stats. Yeah.
in all his stats. And then what he does is use some of the armor mods that are available this season to put on his armor. And with that, and picking up orbs in game. So it's mainly a PvE kind of builds, I guess. That he can get 100 stats in every department. So that's mobility, resilience, recovery, grenade, strength, and super.
And it has to do with how the mods work. So every piece of armor is going to have at least one stat. So you have the mobility stat on the legs, I think grenade on the arms for strength, whatever. Each piece of armor has one of these stats on it. And what happens is when you pick up an orb of power, and I did not know this until his video, these orbs of power, if you have one of those mods on, give you 30 of that stat for the duration of the time that you have the orb on. right?
Yeah, and you can extend those as well.
You can. So yeah, man, and each one of those like is what 10 seconds for one, 20 seconds for two, etc. Right?
Yeah.
So yeah, you get an extra 30. So it's nuts, man. So even if you have like me, I don't have all of them. I only have 4. So I have all 100s except intellect, right? And you notice it. Like you put everything at 70 and you put those mods on, you pick up an orb. It's disgusting, dude. Like I see my mobility is at 100 and just I never do that. So that's game changing. The fact that every one of those gives you a 30 stack. Like what? But yeah, check it out, guys. 70 is the new 100 for PvE, anyway.
Now, last season, everybody was raving about the iColors SMG version 1.03.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this season, everybody's raving about the Immortal, which is the new submachine gun you can get in trial,
Brand, right?
which is why everybody is in trials this weekend, farming,
Oh, they're
because I
trial.
think it is the drop that you get at the end of the flawless chest, or you can, as I didn't realize, and this was from the last word, if you get 7 wins on your passage card, you can turn that passage card in for an adept weapon of that week
Without being flawless.
without being flawless.
You just need 7 wins. That's all. Just 7 wins.
Just 7 wins. And I must have missed that memo somewhere, or we did go over it, but because it's something I'm not kind of doing every weekend, it's something I wasn't fully aware of. So I'm letting you guys know, and
Yeah, that's news I can use because I know I'd seen some people saying like, "Hey, Bungie, you told us there were going to be trials changes. Where is the details on the trials changes?" That seems like one you might want to mention there, Bungie. Want to get those player numbers up? Say, hey, go hit your head against the wall and either bring a team or just luck into getting 7 wins eventually, and yeah, you can get a.
We got to
out of it.
bring a team because the single player thing is not active right now, from what I
no,
understand.
but
Well, it's not
it
going to
is.
be active. They've removed it because they've changed it to the fire team matchmaking. So don't wait for it because it's not going to be.
Trials is fire team too?
And 2, you can still go in solo.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'll do better if you
Oh.
bring a team, but if you don't have a team, go in and hope for the best.
Yeah, see if
Oh.
you can get your 7 wins and trade that card in for an adept weapon of that week. So you've got a good reason to go and play this week, because Fallout Plays tells you that he did a video like a couple of days before trials dropped, going over the stats of this weapon, and it literally matches the iColors SMG like stat for stat, but it's better, slightly better in every kind of stat apart from one. And I'll link his video in the show notes if you're not already in trials this weekend. I mean, you can always, when it comes back up, go for it again. But yeah.
And
That's where-
even if you're saying, yeah, but I'm never going to get 7 wins no matter how hard I try, it is also on the trials reward track at rank 10. So basically, if you
Yes.
just go play enough trials,
Yeah, we
pick
don't
up
get the adept one on the reward track.
no, that's correct. But I'm saying you will get a roll of the immortal that is it looks like a static roll with perpetual motion and focus fury, with an alacrity, one quiet moment, or field tested, which is field tested a new perk. Defeating targets
it
or
is.
dealing damage with the weapon gradually increases range stability, handling, and reload speed.
Mhm.
And if it was a sword, it would do different things. But this is a submachine gun, not a sword, and it comes with a stability masterwork and has a recoil direction of 100. So if you're like, hey, I'm never going to get my 7 wins, you can just go play trials, jump with some buddies, have some fun, complete some bounties, or go in solo and say, eventually I'll get enough points to earn engrams to get to rank 10. It will give you a, non-adept, but you will get a version of the Immortal SMG, which is not a bad roll.
Also, the other thing to let people know is that I know you just said it's a static roll, but I vaguely remember that roll will change every week that Trials is there, or even every week that Saints refreshed on the Tuesday. So if you don't like the roll that he has this current week, you can leave it there. You don't have to pick it up if you actually get to that 10th kind of node to unlock. You can leave it there for next week. If you don't like next week's one, you can leave it. You can leave it until you find the roll that you want to pick up, or you've got enough engrams to turn in to then buy as many as you like. But you can leave those there as long as you want. And I think it works the same with Iron Banner as well. And I vaguely remember this, that if you don't pick up those weapons, the next time Iron Banner comes around, there's a different role. And I think when he had the shotgun, I was like, oh, okay, the shotgun it was this, and now he's back this week, and it's a completely different role. And I was like, oh, okay, I'll get this role. So it's something I don't see a lot of people talking about, is just to remind you that if you want to leave it there, try and, see what it's like next week. It may be an amazing role because they do change.
And yeah, if you go visit Saint 14, go into his focus decoding, it does say for the Immortal Adept role, Trials Engram, Glimmer, Legendary Shards, and any 7-win passage. So, sure enough, that's excellent. And also the other weapon on the track that, again, for this week with the roll is the Astral Horizon Shotgun at rank 16, which might be a little hard to get to in a week if you aren't already playing Trials. But the role it has this week at least is Slide Shot and 1-2 Punch.
Ooh.
Which seems like good times.
I think that kind of rewards people for going in and playing that first week. Of like, if you can get to this, you're going to get this sweet roll.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, and again, it's something that's, as you play, pick up your bounties or earn your engrams, you can go eventually, focus them later in the season, or if nothing else, when the inevitable, hey, go play Trials and we'll give you a weapon drops, you've got more engrams you can throw things at. And Shira's Wrath is back in the pool if you are looking for an SMG and maybe the Immortal isn't quite your thing. There's lots of good options. And something I wanted to mention that we've strayed a little far from it, but when Nitdemon was saying, the Summoner is a really good auto rifle choice for Solar, the Emmett AR2 from season before last, the craftable one, is also a Solar auto rifle, which you can put some really nice perks on. So if you're going, I don't have a Summoner, what's a Summoner? I wasn't around when Summoner was in a loot pool. The Emmett AR is a good choice too. You could play with for your Solar auto rifle choices.
Yeah, I don't believe it's back in Saint 14's loot pool just yet, the Summoner, is it?
No, it's not.
Oh, sad.
One day.
One day we will have all the weapons available. So, shall we move into this week at Bungie for the 16th of March, 2023?
Yeah.
I suppose we should. It seems like a thing to do.
We should. So, this week, we are going to be focusing on the World's First Race winners, the Art of Lightfall development insight video, the update to commendations and Guardian ranks. Ooh, there's an update to them. Have you played the new exotic quest? ? Did you know?
Absolutely.
Trials of Osiris returns this weekend. Iron Banner returns this coming Tuesday. And there's updates from the Destiny player support team, or as we like to refer to him, Peroty, and movies and art of the week. But there's something I want to kind of just talk with you guys and the listeners as we're here, is there was a little bit of controversy in the Destiny community this week. And I know a lot of other podcasts and YouTubers were talking about this. And I believe it was started by
our community.
I believe it was Scarrow and Datto that were commenting on the fact that the contest mode was too easy for the raid. Now, our loving little hunter over there did the contest mode day 1 and day 2. You're not like a hardcore kind of PvE player as such as, day 1 raiding content. You do try it, but you're not kind of, I don't know the words.
I am a hardcore PvP. The problem is I don't have a team anymore. If I had a team, we'd absolutely be trying to get
okay,
world
you're not an elitist.
I want to be.
You're a wannabe elitist, okay?
Not from lack of desire.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I want to be. I just don't have the resources. Yeah.
So when you were playing with your ragtag team,
yeah,
did you find that it was too easy? Going, because you've played all the day 1 raids, did you find this one easier than the last couple?
Mechanic wise, yeah. Mechanically speaking, yeah. Everything still being able to one shot you, still the same. There's change of difficulty there. It's not like they made you more tanky. No, in fact, like I would say that it was actually even a little less tanky, because even with high resilience, which we never had before, and then I had mods on top of that to give me overshields and even more tankiness. And I remember I was getting so peeved because I had an overshield, I had Devour, and I had my glaive shield popped, and I got one shot. I was furious. I was like, ain't no way. Ain't no freaking way, And it wasn't even by like a boss. A boss I get, right? No, it was some freaking yellow bar scrub with a shotgun. Just like, oh, what's this, guys? Oh, I'm gonna kill this. I don't know why I did that voice, but yeah, I just get absolutely obliterated by a stupid freaking yellow bar without even like his main weapon. It's just like a secondary weapon, just erasing us through all of that defense I just mentioned. So, yeah, I would say from that aspect, yeah, it's still just as difficult, like that. But mechanically speaking, once you got it down, it was easier, with the exception of the last part, because the last part of the raid, you have to be perfect. And I don't mean close is good enough. I mean perfect. Because the second you screw up, or if any runner dies, you wipe. You cannot do it at that point because it's so fast paced. Yeah.
Do you think that the reason why people were saying it was easy on contest mode is because they've run so many raids over the years, and they've got used to the way that Bungie build these raids, and which is why it was completed within 2.5 hours rather than like the 4, 6, 24 plus hours that we've had in previous kind of raid iterations?
I think it is, especially like if you're experienced, you know that Bungie teaches you all the raid mechanics before you do the raid, right?
Yeah.
So every part of this raid is teaching you something that you're going to need to know for what's coming up next, right? The hardest part of any raid is figuring out that first thing they want you to know, you know? But once you got that, you just build from there, and it's literally that easy. So this one, if they're talking about mechanics, then it's only going to get worse from here, because people, especially people that have done this for a while, know how to, quotes, read Bungie's agenda and know that, oh, okay, well, they're teaching us how to do this. So that means in the next encounter, we're going to build on this. Okay, now we add this to it. Gotcha. So next encounter, we're going to have these two things. What's going to be the third? Okay, that's the thing. Now these are going to move. Got it. Right? So yeah, that's all they do is they build and build and build. And once you know the formula, then you know the formula. You can bake the cake, and you don't need the chef anymore.
So comparing it to the Deepstone Crypt, which was kind of built as a introduction to raiding for Destiny players, wasn't it? It was kind of the one that you go into to learn how Bungie do raids. As a lot of kind of Sherpas have said, we'll do Deepstone Crypt first because it's a good one to kind of learn to do the other raids. How does it stack up against the Deepstone Crypt for kind of learning for new players?
I'd say it was easier than Deepstone Crypt, learning wise. Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah,
I mean,
because Deepstone Crypt had a lot of mechanics that you only used the one time, like Atrix disappearing, right? Or multiplying, I should say. That doesn't happen anywhere else on the raid. That's that one encounter. We have to find him, and that's not the other. So that was a little more difficult. Atrix was the hardest part of Deepstone Crypt. And I think that alone is why Deepstone Crypt is harder. You remove Atrix, I'd say they're pretty similar, honestly.
Yeah.
Atrix is what makes Deepstone Crypt hard. So, yeah, that's my opinion for that. You remove that, they're pretty equal.
Yeah. So the learning what to do wasn't the hard part. It was the executing on that was the hard part.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Executing was difficult, especially in the last part.
Okay. So, I'm just throwing it out there that if Datto and Scarrow are right to say that that it was too easy as a contest mode, then I don't understand how come Datto came in the position that he came in. And I don't understand how come the team that have won the last 3 World's Firsts didn't come in like well under time of everybody else. This is what I don't understand.
Question, sir.
If contest mode is that easy for these experienced Destiny elitist players that have played all these raids and they have raced to their heart's content. I mean, I think Datto was 3rd in the world, wasn't he, for Last Wish? He came in just over the 24 hours. I don't understand the elitist part of it. And there was a conversation that went on in our Discord, a little bit of a heated discussion that went on there regarding like somebody saying that it was easy and somebody else saying, that's an elitist comment, and it went down a road of, they did talk it out. But it was like, I couldn't understand, not having played it, which is why I wanted to kind of question you of, stacking it up against other raids and things. And I mean, do you see this as a good thing for Bungie? Because they had the most engagement on Twitch.
I do.
Players
yes, I do.
The raid.
I do, because even if the elitist is a small percentage, right? if you want people playing your game, Bungie, you don't want to cater to the elitist, right? You want to cater to the everyday guys. You want someone like Peroty to think like, you know what? I got 45 minutes. Let's do a raid. And that encourages him to get in there, get not encouraged,
not
but
45 minutes,
incentivizes
maybe
him
3
to
hours.
get in there and get take a shot at the raid, because it's not as complicated as the others, and Lord forbid it doesn't even take as long. So I absolutely think that this is good, because I enjoy going in with some of my friends, knocking out 2 or 3 raids in a couple of hours, and then moving on to other stuff. I don't want to spend a day on a raid. Especially when you got to teach new people how to do it. When you got to Sherpa, no, that's not fun. Not for me anyway. Other people might like the experience of teaching people and it taking them all day. I don't. I want to get it done. I want to get my loot and get on to the next loot. You know what I mean?
But do you not find that Destiny needs some of those raids like the Last Wish to be in there? Those long, complicated ones that take a while for like the teamwork synergy to work out the puzzles.
You could, but not all of them are going to be created equal.
No,
you're going to have some variety. I mean, one of the best raids, in my opinion, ever was the one with the sparrow with the sun's chasing your ass. What was that called?
The one where the Fallen live now.
The one with the fallen. Yeah, I can never remember that one, man. But that one right there, like, it wasn't very long at all, and I'd say probably one of the more difficult parts was that sparrow where that sun is chasing you, and you have to run away from the sun while hitting buttons, and then at the end you got to jump off the sparrow, huh?
Yeah, the servitor, yeah.
Yeah, and then you got to jump off the sparrow and climb up, and just by the skin of your butt hair, you made it to the end, right? So that was fun. That was an incredibly fun raid. Everybody loved it, and it wasn't complicated. You can have a good raid that isn't long or complicated, and I think that's a better formula than having long form. It takes 9 hours to do a raid kind of thing. I don't like that. Last Wish was okay. I just did a Last Wish now with our power creep, and we went through the Last Wish in 30 minutes.
Yeah,
front to end.
No,
yeah,
but I understand why you want a kind of day one experience to be kind of lasting and people to really try. And I don't think that they gave the contest mode for 48 hours because they thought that it was going to be a long, complicated raid. I think that they gave the contest mode for the 48 hours to give more people a chance to try the contest mode to see if they could do it. Sure. I don't think it was set up like that. If the Last Wish was the Last Wish and they'd seen ahead of time, they've gone, right, we're going to have to give them 48 hours to kind of complete this because we know that this is gonna be that hard.
Yeah, I think Bungie was letting Joe Schmo get a chance at getting an emblem or a jacket or whatever. I think you're right. Yeah, they were just being more inclusive. That's fine.
I mean, Peroty, do you have any views on this?
I think you need both. I think you need the super hard, technically challenging. There's a lot to learn, a lot of puzzles, a lot of pieces to figure out for people who want that level of challenge.
Mm-hmm.
And I think you need sort of baby's first raid, like the intro to I've never raided before. I don't I've heard the horror stories of this took teams 20 hours to get through. No, like give me a raid that's like a harder dungeon. I mean like Crota's End. I mean D1 Crota is the raid you started with if you wanted a I can literally just stand here and dance and get drugged through the whole thing. I'm not saying they should necessarily need to be that easy, but there needs to be some sort of intro to the raiding experience that is not, I'm going to suffer and hit my head against the wall and, must have Gallowhorn and must be able to do these 16 mechanics I've never seen before. There needs to be some level of, all 6 players should need to be involved to some degree, but there also needs to be a little bit of, hey, you can actually Sherpa people through without having them be experts. Like to Respawn's point, you have to have every single person be, do the thing they're trying to do flawlessly to get through. There needs to be a little of both. You can't have all one or all the other because then you're going to lose one end of the player base. If it's all too hard, no one's raiding except for the tryhards who are doing it every week, or who are not tryhards, but who are dedicated and the elitist raid gods going, oh, I've done this 16 times this week and it's super easy for me, and nobody else wants to set foot. It's just like trials. Then you have that experience of raids are way up here and you, the mere mortal, could never step into them. But also you don't want them to be, like Crota, or super, like a super easy dungeon where you can just sort of show up and dance in a circle and get raid loot out of it, because it's like, oh, and then it's too easy. Why bother running it?
Well,
there needs to be some sliding scale of challenge there.
what they could do, and I think this will make both parties happy, is you know how they have the challenges for the raids, right?
Mhm.
Well, what a challenge is you're taking an existing mechanic and you're making that mechanic more difficult to do, whether only one person can have a buff for that entire round or whatever, right? So I think you can have the easy mode, and then like you have the higher tier mode, which all the challenges are enabled, and if you don't do a challenge, you wipe. That'll give the difficulty level for the elitists, while still allowing other people to just go and do a raid, on normal mode and still get gear. The hard
Well,
mode raid is where you get like the
I
adept
mean,
weapons and
you
whatnot.
say that, but they do have the challenge modes coming soon, and then they also have the master modes of
But the
the
challenge
raid.
modes are like contest mode. It's just everybody's hits harder and has more HP.
But if
I'm
you
not
remember,
talking about that. I'm talking about like adding the mechanics to make things more difficult,
okay,
in addition to making the enemy
so
stronger.
you're saying
right?
going back to how they did the raids in Destiny 1, where they started off with the hardest scale and they scaled it back for the normal version of that raid, and then when they introduced the hard mode raids, it was the full mechanics of that raid.
Yep.
Do you think that that's what they've done this time because they've listened to the feedback? Because we do have the master version of these raids coming, and that will then show people that, you elitists out there, you think that contest was hard. Contest was just getting you in the door to show you that, you can do this day one, but if you want to master this, this is where you go to prove that you're an elitist. Do you think that it's something that they're actually doing without actually saying at this point in time?
I mean, I have no idea. I have no basis to base that on.
Okay, is it something that you would wish them to be doing, like sneakily,
Yeah.
to not
Yeah.
say anything and then just go, boom, there you go, elitist, deal
Yeah,
with that.
they're all like, "Oh,
You
well, this
guys,
is so
yeah.
easy. I can solo all these bubbles." Yep. What happens if I only give you 5 seconds to do it? I'm sorry, what?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, right now you have 10 seconds to go from one bubble to the other, and one guy can solo it. What if you have 5 seconds and you have to have two people do it? No, hold on, Bungie. Wait, back up a little bit.
But then I think with that, it goes with the reward for doing that. Yes, you can give people an emblem. Yes, you can give them like exotic sparrows, ghosts, whatever. But
Mm.
you can't give them anything that's too like an exotic weapon that is just going to be out there that only those elite players can get.
No,
And
you can give
it's
them adept weapons and armor, though, like what they've been doing.
yes, but you need to make that something tangible, something that people want to go in there and repeatedly do. Because once you've done that master version and you've done it on challenge, what is the challenge for those elitist players to keep playing? There
Adept
needs to
armor
be a
and
carrot.
weapons.
No, but there needs to be a tangible carrot at the end of that stick to keep those players getting to go back in there, or even to Sherpa other lesser skilled players into getting up to being, into that master version.
I don't understand why you keep saying no. Adept weapons and armor are an important thing, especially now. Adept armor, you get 5 pieces. That's
Yes,
15
no,
stat points, bro.
but I'm saying,
Right, but,
yeah, you are looking at it from the average player here.
yeah,
I'm
but
looking at
at
it
some
from
point,
those elitist players that want that challenge. Yes, they can go in and do that challenge day one, but after that challenge day one, there's nothing that they haven't already got from the game of playing it over and over and over again. If they're that elitist or they're that good at the game, they have played those dungeons to perfection. They have got
yeah,
the
they
perfect
have
rolled
they have all
stats.
that stuff. They
Yeah.
have all their god rolls. Yeah, there needs to be that carrot at the end of the stick to say, okay, you've done this 50 times, 100 times, 200 times. What are you going back in for?
Well, I mean, I have
like
parroting
for some
things that
people,
we've said in
sure,
the past. Like you can give them specific shaders, right? Like here's a shader that is only for this, and make them good, Bungie. Okay, not none of this. crap. No, make a good shader. Give somebody a true black. Give somebody a true white. Give somebody a true blue. A true green, an emerald green, a candy apple red, whatever. Give
those come
people
from Gambit,
actual
sir.
shaders that they're going to use. You know what I mean? And make that the carrot at the end of the stick. We don't have a true black right now. And when I say true black, I mean it's black on everything. It's not black with vibrant blue, or the new one we have that's black with vibrant orange, right? No, I don't want a vibrant blue for half my chest piece. I want to be black. I want to hide in the shadows, and I
Exactly.
want a shader that does that. You know?
That would ruin PvP. You'd walk past a shadowed area and out would pop a hunter. You
Oh
can't have
well.
That's what
Oh well.
that's what you do anyway. You're gonna get shotgun from the guy in the corner, no matter what shader he's wearing.
Mm-hmm.
True.
Yeah.
That's why you have a radar, bro.
yeah. I mean, and that's always the conversation comes up around give us a selectable contest mode. Let me go in 6 months after the raid and say, let me run it as a contest mode. Let me give myself that level of difficulty, and put something behind it. Again, maybe not the same thing from day one, but saying let me give me a reason to go do a contest mode raid long after it's been out with new mechanics and new things, and with players' power levels
And then
being
you can
higher.
have like a reset mechanic too. Like the first reset, you get the shader. The second reset, you get not an emblem. What do we call them for the guns? A skin. You get a skin for the gun that is very unique to only having gone through the raid cycle more than one. Not the cycle. Ranking system. You have to reset your rank, right, and start over, and then build it up again. And now you have this weapon shader, right? And you go through again, and now you have the shader for and it could be the raid weapons, right? All the raid weapons get a special skin depending on how many times you've reset that rank. So let's say the auto rifle being ornaments. Thank you, Red Killer. Let's say everybody wants the auto rifle, right? The auto rifle is so good in this game. Well, if you want the special ornament for the auto rifle, you have to, let's call it prestige, because I don't have a better word for it. Sorry, Call of Duty. You have to prestige 10 times to get said auto rifle skin. So when you're walking around with an auto rifle skin that nobody's seen before, that's prestige, right? People underestimate. They're like, it's just an ornament. No, it's not just an ornament. There's prestige behind that. People that know what that is know what that means and know you're a badass. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they could do what they do with the Nightfalls, the Gambits, with the mementos. So you get that specific memento that you can only put on that one weapon, and then if you change it, then it's gone. But you get that from doing your prestige like 10 times.
Well, it's not gonna so if you get that weapon to level 30, you always have that shader on that weapon. Just so you know.
Yeah.
Okay. If you change it before, then it's gone.
I'm agreeing with you here, but it's not like we actually have any decisions in this. But I'm just going, yeah.
But no, that's what they should do. I mean,
like,
and not just limit it for, like I said before, don't just limit it for the raids. Do the same thing for PvP. They're like, we want to get more people engaged. Do a prestige system, dude. Don't just do like, oh, you reset your rank, now you have a skin for your glaive. Nobody cares about that. I want prestige for crucible type stuff. Like I have crucible armor that is very lackluster. Well, what if I prestige? Every time I prestige, I get a vibrant version of that armor. Maybe it burns on fire when I'm using solar, or maybe it glows purple when I'm using void.
Your just Iron for armor glows. The fires on your armor glow when you're an Iron Banner with your Iron Banner armor. More synergies like that,
right? The more times you prestige or level it up, the more ornaments you get for doing a thing. And everybody who plays is going to know, damn, dude, you did a lot of PvP and you did really well to have all 5 pieces of your armor with the ornaments on it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And Bungie, and to that point, Bungie seems to be going a little bit in reverse of that, because one thing I enjoy doing every season is, taking my Gambit title and adding another number to it. So people, when they notice that I have now 8 resets or eight things, they can go, what have you done to yourself? Well, last season it took me a couple of like a week or two of playing, a couple hours here and there, getting my wins and doing all this and resetting the Gambit rank. This season, you know what I had to do to add that extra guild?
Go on.
100 glaive kills. 100 glaive kills.
100?
It was basically just go. It was basically go do one of these things. So I was able to go get 100 glaive kills, and that was it. And it was like, here you go. That was really the only challenge you had ahead of you. Didn't have to reset your ring. Didn't have to win games or play games. Just like the other pieces of that title are still undone. But it's like, oh, you've gilded it now that you've done this one thing. I'm like, well, that's silly.
Like, was it at least like 100 like PvP kills, or is it just like 100
glaive kills in Gambit? That's it. Just get 100 kills with a glaive and Gambit.
Really?
That's all it was. And I'm like,
just in general.
Well, wow. I'm like, well, what's the point of, gilding this title if there's, it's not really. I mean, again, like, I do appreciate it being like, you don't need 50 wins, like, making it a little bit easier so you're not grinding so hard for it. But now it's like, they pulled a Bungie and gone the other direction of, hey, you did a simple thing. You played 5 games and got this done. Congratulations. Like, well, what's the point of now showing off this thing that used to be a struggle, and now I can do in an afternoon. When I was seeing people like again day one going, I've gilded my gambit again. I've gilded the people that I follow online like Revenant and folks who are gambit mains kind of, and it's like not mains, but like you play a lot of gambit. It's like this took me a single day. That seems wrong. Like there should at least be a little bit of a commitment to do. So it's so I'm wondering is that and just like the glorious title for PvP since they took out Unbroken and now it's glorious, you can get. I earned some piece of glorious just by playing quick play stuff the other day, and I'm like, okay, I should not be earning glorious things. I'm doing nothing glorious here. I don't know what the rest of the requirements are, but it's like, are we we have these titles and we can guild them. Are we making that all easier now to do? Which again, again, I mean, it definitely seems like Bungie. I mean, again, Bungie stated goals are we want to get more people into our game. We want to make this easier. We want to make this more accessible to people. So that's clearly the big picture way they're going, which is always going to butt up against those of us who want the things we care about most to be challenging and to have something from it. And it's like, is that that may just not be the direction Bungie's going with it. Going, hey, you're going to do this thing, and if you're really good at it, go Sherpa people through, and that's the feeling you get of a job well done, not something from the game for doing this 80 times.
And that's another thing you could do, a Sherpa track, right? Same thing for the Sherpa track, different ornaments for a Sherpa track.
It's like you've got the guided games, make that a useful system and give people rewards for it. I know there was like the ornament or something they were giving out for it for doing X number of Sherpas or something, but yeah, it's part of the game. It's like, yeah, we built it, but then didn't really think about it after that.
The thing with the Sherpa thing is that they give them an emblem, and all you'll see once they release that emblem is on the LFGs of you need to have not done this before, and they literally run you through the raid. It goes in a blur, and then at the end of it, they just dump you, and you're like, oh, okay, I didn't learn a thing. That's not a Sherpa. A Sherpa would take you through. A lot of people use it as an excuse to kind of get that emblem because they've done like their 10 Sherpas, and I know it's a double-edged sword with Bungie of, we want to give people this to do this, but if people are running it through and kind of abusing it just to get that emblem, it doesn't seem fair sometimes.
Then it turns into the commendation system.
Yeah.
Where
you say that, you might not have learned it, but you've got it clear. You know what I mean? It still benefits both sides. It doesn't benefit them to the point where now I know what I'm doing. Surely but they've got it clear now.
Surely a Sherpa is there to help show you what to do rather than just rush you through it as quick as possible so that
ideally, yes.
Exactly. Because at the end of the day, you'd want to learn it so that you could then go back through and eventually, help other people that haven't been there and done it and go, right, I know what I'm doing at this point. Let's do it like this because this team showed me like this. That's a good Sherpa. And I've been in so many different raid teams where they've kind of just rushed straight through and you're like, what just happened? Even though I've kind of done those raids before, there's just like, whoom, that's it, it's gone.
Yeah, it's like, are you being Sherpa'd or are you being carried? I think there's a line there of hey, carry me through, let me get my chance at the loot, or let me get the loot and then I'll get out, versus let me go enjoy this experience and then be able to go run with my own team or teach others or whatever my goal may be, or just, hey, next time I'll know this a little bit better. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I think, and again, and there's people who want both things. Some people are like, yeah, I just want to be drugged through this, take me to the lighthouse, let me get my loot, take me through the raid, let me get my shot at
that's me,
the exotic or whatever. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I mean, I think there's, just like, this is a massive game. People have both goals, but yeah, it's like there's, what's that carrot at the end of the stick? And is there one?
That's fair. That's fair.
Coming back to the raids again slightly, I think we're in agreement that they weren't, this raid wasn't kind of too easy for players to do, because otherwise we would have seen those elite players come in like the top 1-2% rather than kind of a team that we'd never heard of. I think maybe what's upset them more is
maybe that's why they're upset.
Their position was way down low because more people kind of did it quicker.
Mm-hmm. That's why they're upset. It's because it was so easy that they weren't the ones. You know what? Yeah, you know what? I'm 100% behind Nitdemon on this. They're not upset that it was too easy. They're upset that it was easy enough that they're not the ones who won it. Yep.
It was too accessible.
It was too accessible. They weren't the elite. They weren't elitist enough.
You want it to be challenging, but you want it to be that Bungie have always said that they want it there for some, people to aspire to get into and try and do. And the more people that get into doing the raids and enjoy doing those raids, it's going to hopefully encourage those people to play more and more and more, which is what you
Agreed.
kind of want. And then when they drop a Last Wish style raid on you, then they're going to be like, oh, this is a raid. And I think the
Yeah.
thing is that you kind of try and measure raids up against other raids that you can only measure it up against other Destiny raids, because if you measure it up against like World of Warcraft, it's a completely different beast, isn't it? I mean, World of Warcraft raids, from what I've heard, are like day events that just kind of go on and on and on. There's so many
Well,
different
that's what ours could be too, man. You know,
but that's not our game. That's the thing. I think
it's not our game now, but it has been in the past. Like I said before, like some raids used to take all freaking day, dude, and that wasn't a fun experience for me. You know, the best part of those raid days is, oh my god, I'm finally done. That's not pride. That's getting it over with. You know, it's just no. I don't like the all day events. No.
no.
I want my loot, dude. Give me my loot. I'm a hunter. I need the loot. That's all I need.
So yeah, it is what it is, and I think Bungie did a good job to get more players in there. And unfortunately,
agree.
they had to do it on a Friday to get the 2 days worth of it. I mean, who wants to work at the weekend? Bless them. Why should they change it to a Saturday and a Sunday if just because other people don't want to kind of take that day off? It's always been, hasn't it? It's always been you take that day off.
Oh, Friday, yeah.
Yeah, it's just unfortunately that's the kind of thing. And if you can't take it off, you can't take it off. That's why they gave you the extra day, so that you could then do it on the Saturday and still try and get that emblem. I think they've
Indeed.
tried to cater so much to all the players. They're not going to make anyone happy and everyone happy all at the same time.
I agree.
Good. So should we move on to the Art of Lightfall?
Yes.
Do you want to tell us about this one, Peroty? Did you watch the video? Because I saw you posted it.
I watched. I was watching part of it until we got to Sparkly Callus, and then I got distracted.
Ah.
Yeah, I mean, just another, close to a Deacon approval. 4.5 minutes of just like the Art of Lightfall, and they're talking about, hey, we wanted to create our Cloud Striders as big giant 9-foot tall action figures, and there we go. That's what we got from it. I'm a little disappointed that the Sparkly Callus at 3 minutes and 26 seconds didn't come to fruition, but having a Callus just covered in glitter would have been good times. I think they should have gone in that direction, but such is life.
There's also a link to the magazine Art Station if you want to have a look at some of the actual artwork they've put in there as well in the tribe, which I'll link as well. It's some really cool cityscapes and concepts that they've kind of got. I think.
Yeah, the concept art's really fun. It's interesting seeing the various. Oh yeah, and there's a Sparkly Callus concept art from Tobias Kwan. Oh yeah, just like him, like drooling gold and just glittered, and not that he isn't bejeweled already, but just bejeweled in a little different way. Those Tormentors, though, I mean, that was an art style, and the Tormentors are just. I feel like they live up to that level of fear. There's a lot of things where I'm like, you're fine, but the Tormentors, those will make you step back and run away.
I was playing with Pee Pipe and her boyfriend last night, and I went in to help them out, and I soloed both of the Tormentors on that one mission. Where they put you in the small room with the 2 Tormentors.
Yep.
I lifted them up. I popped a super. I soloed them both, and Pee-Pee's like, "Wow, they're just dead." It's like, yeah, once you realize their weaknesses, they're not really a threat anymore. When they're in the air with their little feet dangling, they're not gonna hurt you. Yeah. So it's just, but in the beginning they're terrifying, and when they get close to you, they're still terrifying. And the yellow bar ones that you can't lift into the air and have their little feet dangling, they're still terrifying. And then the mother of all of them, the Mr. Meat Chicken, even though visually speaking he's not terrifying, mechanically that dude's an SOB. I tell you what.
Yeah. Like I said, I was running through the campaign with Not Arf last night, and we got up to the room with the 2 Tormentors, and it's like, okay, this is. It was getting pretty late his time, so I was like, all right, this is where we should leave it for now. But got to that point. But yeah, just running in all the small rooms. I mean, that's what I think about when I think about this. The campaign is we're going to make you crawl through vents and then shove you into small rooms with very large enemies.
Basically.
Enjoy.
Yeah. Ones that like to hug you and take your light and touch you in naughty places.
Yeah. The torment again, I mean, to your point, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of easier ways to deal with the tormentors. But I honestly, I like the sort of mix of mechanics that Bungie used to go like you can't just walk up to them to try to melee to try to smack them with swords or melee them, because instead of stomping them, they will pick you up and hug you. They'll go, oh, you want to be close? You want a hug? I'll give you a hug.
Oh, not just that, but they suppress you too.
Well, right. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like honestly, that is a lot.
I don't mean the grabbing. I mean just being near to them. Like if you have a glaive, they'll suppress you. They'll take your light before they even touch you.
Yeah, no, exactly. Like I like that mechanic. I like the threat of, if I get close enough to you, yeah, I could wail on you with my giant crab claws, but you could also suppress me out of my super and then pick me up and hug me. Like that, for some reason, is just a lot less infuriating than being stomped or being, whatever else. Just, I don't know, like that feels more natural. That feels like, oh yeah, you get close to him, he's going to take my light away and give me a big hug and tell me how much he loves me, versus I'm going to stomp you off the map into a wall somewhere.
I don't even think about it like that. That is a better alternative to the stomp.
Like I like that mechanic. Like it's been much less. Yeah, they're infuriating to fight against, especially when your light levels capped 200 below where you're sitting. But it's just a much less infuriating mechanic to fight against. It's like, okay, yeah, this makes sense. Sure, like this works for me. I don't know. I don't know how you felt about tormentors at this point, or if you run through how many characters. I know Respawn's got at least 2 characters through his campaign and into the raid. The third one we will not speak of, but.
No, and I want to, but like every time I start it, and I don't know where people are talking about this boost, because I'd rather just boost the Titan through it, but I don't see the boost. When I see the boost, it's like the level boost, not the skip the campaign boost. I want to skip the campaign boost, not the level boost. Just get that over and done with.
I'm sure if you go to Bungie.net, they will tell you where they can take your money for that.
I should, yeah. But yeah, either way, I mean, there's a good and bad to everything. You just have to pick your battles, man. What do you want to win today? What do you want to lose tomorrow? Kind of thing, I think the raid was fun. I think it was mechanically challenging, and not mechanically challenging. I thought the mechanics were good enough, right, for it to be fun without it being aggravating. And I think the fact that so many people got to do the raid is an absolute win. Even if the elites are like, it's too easy. Well, shut up. More people got to play, and that's important for the game. I want more people to play the game. That way I have more people to do stuff with. I'm tired of getting online and being like, yo, is anybody here? Does anyone want to do something? Just crickets, right? But, when the game gets easier, then you can go online like, hey, who wants to do a raid or a Nightfall or whatever? You got a lot more people that are playing, so an increase in the population is a good thing. And if this is how we do it, let's ride. Let's do it.
Well, funny you should mention that, Respawn, that we do have a bot in our Discord that you can join. It's called the 100.io, and it was set up by the fabulous Kingsley Mac over at the Guardian Hub, and we use it. Guardian Down uses it. I believe Potato Thumbs use it. And is it Blueberry Lounge also use it? So there is a plethora of Guardians from 4 or 5 different podcasts that use this 100.io bot, which you can set up a game if you want to play PvP or if you want to play PvE activities. Join our Discord or join one of the other guys' Discords. I'm not telling you what to do, and set up a game. And it's just that easy. Just you set up a game for when you want to play. Don't be like Respawn and get on and go, well, there's nobody here to play with. Set up a game, or even just jump into one of the chats and say, look, I'm on, I want to play, and Respawn will be there because, like you said, he's there and he wants to play.
Oh, yeah.
Everywhere you want to be, yeah. Like in our Discord, it's the Owl Sector Alliance LFG. And yeah, it'll sit there and dutifully tell you every time people set up a game, or just, hey, I'm looking to run a thing, here's where I'm looking to run it, and it'll tell you if you've got enough people, or even if it's full, say, hey, I'll be your 7th person, I'll be your sub, Yeah, hey, I'm available during this time. If you lose a person or if it takes too long and someone has to go, a lot of us are parents and adults with jobs and kids. Just because there's 6 people in that raid saying, hey, I'm ready for 6 p.m. on Tuesday evening, doesn't mean all 6 people may be there the whole time. So yeah, throw your hand in the ring, because 100.io is good about saying, hey, I'll be your alternate. Be that 7th man off the bench in a bunch of places, and then yeah. if someone drops out, hey, you're the first person to call. You're the first person available. Hey, I'm right here. I'm ready to go. Let's kick this thing.
And not just that, but like it's also really good. Let's say somebody drops out, it'll post say, "Hey, we're down a man. Does anybody want to join?" kind of thing. It'll send out an announcement to everybody, letting them know that you who was full is no longer full, and you need a man. You don't even have to do it yourself. It's kind of awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you may grow to like some of these people and actually befriend them and just do raiding or dungeons or PvE activities or PvP activities all the time. You could join their clans because we have multiple clans in there. It's not just the Frozen clan, it's not just Potato Thumbs, it's not just Guardian Down, Guardian Hub. There are multiple podcasts, multiple clans, all in there, just all using this one Discord bot. And it's fantastic.
And it feels like almost like, to a person. I think that's how, if not all of us, the vast majority of us met each other, met in raids, have done raids. Like 100IO is just a great,
Oh, 100%.
Yeah,
I met
100IO
Frozen in a
just
raid.
yeah, it's just a really nice system for saying, I need human beings to get together at a certain date and time. And it's not just raiding. If it's dungeons, it's Iron Banner. If you say, hey, I want to go into Iron Banner next week, but I don't want to do it alone. I want to, have some battle buddies to go in with and have a good laugh with. Say, hey, I'm going to run Iron Banner on, Tuesday evening. Who wants to join me? Let's just group up and go run this together. Yeah, I mean, you can do anything in the game you want to do. Hey, I want to go try to get my Trials Adept weapon. I need 7 wins. I'm a decent player, but I'm not great. Who, are there 2 other decent players who wants to go in with me? Let's go have a good time with it. Yeah, anything you want to do in the game. Hey, I want to get through the campaign. I need my Vex Caliber. I'm, hey, I've had this quest sitting in my inventory for a year and I want to finish the thing. Say, hey,
Vex
I want to knock
Caliber
this out. Who else
Legendary,
needs it?
no joke, guys. No joke. Oh,
You say that, but Cheese Forever has a video for you, and his link is permanently in our show notes for his channel on YouTube. So he's been on top of things this week with so many cheeses, so many things that Bungie thought that
I'm
they'd
gonna have to
patched.
look that up because like if I go in with a team, impossible. There's just so many ads and they hit so hard. People die while
Are you
they
using
can't stay alive.
Wishender?
No.
Go and check out one of his videos. Use Wishender. You'll thank me and Cheese later.
Fair enough.
But getting back to the TWAB this week, there will be updates to commendations and Guardian ranks. So this week's update, which we've already had, there was a little bit of downtime, brings some welcome changes and quality of life improvements to the game, including an increasement to the exotic engram drop rate for completing Legend and Master Lost sectors.
Thank God for that. Oh goodness! Have you tried doing them this season?
I am not strong enough to do them this season.
Oh.
I set foot into one and got it wiped off the floor immediately, and I said, "Okay, we'll try this again in a couple weeks once I've gotten a little stronger."
I did 12 of the master versions of the Lost Sector. Got 1 exotic armor to drop, and it was not the seasonal helmet. I was so upset. 12, dude, 12, and I got 1 drop. And then after they made these changes, I went in there, didn't even go on master. I went on legend, got the exotic drop first try. So thank you so much, Bungie.
Yeah, I mean, Master is meant to be the one that gives you more of a chance at the drop. But I think over testing over years and years of these legendary lost sectors being there, it has been found, proven time and time again that it is quicker to run through on the legend difficulty to have your hopes dashed less to get the exotic to drop at the end. You can do those quicker than just doing one master version. So
yes, time wise it is faster to do the legends. But the fact that I got it the first try on the legend was kind of nutty after.
That's because you pushed the button, you did the master first, and it went, oh, you didn't get anything. Oh, he's now on legend. Let's give him it. So on Tuesday, they also reduced the commendation requirements for Guardian rank 7 through to 11 to benefit our players' goals for this feature. Even with plenty of data and experience, it's tough to predict social system behavior until it's finally in the hands of the community. Not really, Bungie. You knew this was going to kind of be...
He just vehemently disagreed. Nope, you lie.
No, at the end of the day, Bungie, when you set a rank so high, people are going to cheese it.
It's ridiculous.
Also, you need to make sure the system works so you can give out the ranks in every core playlist, Bungie. Because if the stream never, if the
Thank you.
screen never loads, I can't give or receive commendations.
Yeah, last night, like I've done the raids and everything like that. Haven't had a problem. Loaded into Gambit last night because we needed to do the weekly. Me, PB Pipe, and Steven.
Has not loaded once. Have never
And yeah,
seen that
no,
screen at
dude,
the end
it
of
was
Gambit.
over. I couldn't give a single person a commendation. I'm like, WTF? And you know how you can hit like your caps lock or whatever
we
you
can hit
use
that
to
on
bring
our
it up
controls.
faster? That doesn't work in Gambit. You can't
No.
bring it up faster in Gambit like you can everywhere else.
It flat out, I have never seen that screen load in Gambit. It sits there at the spinning thing. I'm going to load. Even Crucible's been about 50-50. The Defiant playlists and the Nightfalls and Vanguard Ops, those,
Crazy.
again, sometimes I forget about them and I forget to give the commendations, but the screen loads at least.
Yeah.
In PvP, 50% of the time. In Gambit, not once. Not once has that screen loaded.
Oh, right. It doesn't work in Gambit, dude. No, we tried
Yeah.
that in Gambit. Tab does not bring it up faster in Gambit.
No. There's nothing you can do. Any trick that works elsewhere, they're just like, why would Gambit be a thing? Why? Again, we're going to make you pick up triangles in the rest of the game, but we're going to forget that Gambit exists. So yeah, no, just I mean, and that's part of the reason I'm sitting at, I think, where am I sitting at? Like 300 something, 315 commendations. I mean, part of it is too is I've been running through the campaign with the Titan, and I've been using my Warlock to help various people through the campaign. So I've been doing a lot of non-commendation activities, but also the ones I play, if it's broken to the point where I can't use it, can't get the commendation, Bungie.
That's so bad. Problem. And what's bad is Gambit's one of the ones where you can get the red commendations, which are weighted heavier point wise, but you can't give it yet.
Nope, those aren't for you. So maybe that's one of the reasons to play trials. Go get some commendations out of trials. if people are giving out commendations, if they're going, you were fun, but you weren't good.
T-Rex is like, I hit 7 yesterday. Yeah, well, look at this T-Rex. I am literally 130 point Nightfall away from 8. Look at this. That's what I need right here to get 8. 130 point Nightfall.
Well, from what I've been hearing, a lot of other people have again agreed with us, saying that resetting your rank after the season is a silly thing, and it should be a thing that, I mean, I think it was the last word. I think Travis was saying that he's got a friend that's just come back to Destiny, and immediately they are a 6. And it's like, well, I'm a 6. How come you're a 6? And I've been playing it since X amount of years. It's like I said last week, it doesn't make any sense, this commendation system. And now we've got reductions, so you can give out more and get higher ranks quicker. So rank 7 was 750, now 460. Rank 8 was 1,250, now 790. To get to rank 9, 1,750, now 1,290. Rank 10 was 5,000, now down to 1,530. And rank 11 was 6,000, now down to 1,800.
6,000. Guys, 6,000. Astacross did the math. That's 200 and some odd raids, guys. Raids. It's unbelievable.
Hopefully
what
they
was
have
to make it that high?
Hopefully they have heard the feedback.
Well, obviously they've changed it, so the feedback has been heard.
Like, if you can hand them out in every activity, then this would go quicker. But you have to play a core playlist, and in half the core, a full 30 core playlist is just broken. Then you're not going to get there.
Yeah, your pillar's going to be removed soon. But again, Bungie say that they're not done making changes with the accommodations and the Guardian ranks, and they'll be updating us soon with what is to come. So, e.g., moving the Lost Sector objectives to higher Guardian ranks, so fewer players are stuck at rank 6. That's not what we're talking about. Bungie, we're talking about. Never mind. If you listen to this podcast, listen to the Last Word podcast, listen to last week. Just you'll hear the feedback. It's there. Respawn.
Yeah. What? Yo. What?
Good work, my little assistant.
Yo, you got it. What'd I do?
Well, we hope by this time you've had a chance to play the new Exotic Quest Node Override Avalon. If you haven't, you might want to visit the Gulch and the EDZ. Take a look, then a second one. You might start noticing a fancy white cube literally hanging around. They'll leave the rest to you. let's just say there's several of them.
And you
I've
have to
seen 'em.
collect them very quickly.
Really? I don't know what they do. Oh
Yeah.
wait, no, you're talking about the Vexcalibur.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm saying if you're running with a fire team or if you're brave enough to do it alone, you'll be rewarded with the very cool exotic glaive of Excalibur, which may or may not be disabled depending on when you listen to this and when this is going on. It's a very special weapon because not only because of the special ammunition it fires, its perk allows you to build the replenishable Void Overshield, and you can also craft and enhance it. In order to do the latter, you'll have to wield your fancy new glaive while exploring various angles of the Vex network. When the quest opens, use your head, but also your glade shield to go farther each week. And you can craft your very personal version and make an old friend very proud. But there's no lady in the lake, which is disappointing. There should be a lady in the lake. We have fish. We even have a lake. Where's the lady?
So
Squirrel!
I don't know. You guys don't watch anime, but ever since I got it, I'm just like
Love
every time I
anime.
load it, I'm like Vexcalibur, Vexcalibur, and only those that have watched a certain anime called Soul Eater know what I'm talking about, and it cracks them up. Because in this anime, you have people that are weapons, and other people wield them, right? And Excalibur exists, and Excalibur is the strongest weapon. But Excalibur is so
Is it the strongest person,
unbelievably
though?
irritating. Nobody can wield it.
Is it a person though?
Yes, well, it's a creature. It is.
Okay.
It's a living entity, right? But yeah, so it's just funny. I'm sorry.
And the good thing about this is it's like the exotic missions that we got last season, that once you've got it, you can then go back in each week at reset and get a pinnacle from the drop. So there is a reason to go back in and just do it on the normal version each week and get your pinnacle.
Is it something that's worth playing each week? Is it enjoyable?
The Vex thing?
Yeah.
It's a
No,
fun
it's
mission.
hard.
No, but it's a fun little mission.
No, when you put it on legendary, it's not fun anymore.
I wasn't putting it on legendary. I was putting it on normal just to get the pinnacle. But I'm just saying.
Well, no, I'm trying to get the freak. I still haven't got the first catalyst, right? Because I tried doing it with fire teams, and with a fire team, it's just so hard. So I went in there solo, and I get to the last part on the last boss where I got to put in the code, and I just get so overwhelmed by ads. They kill me before I can put in the code and finish off the boss every freaking time.
Again,
and it's just so
I will
infuriating.
point in the direction of Cheese Forever. Go and check out his latest couple of videos and use the bow.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to check that out.
You will thank me and Cheese later. Trust me.
Oh, I bet. I'm looking forward to it. To just
Now,
at least getting it done.
If you're listening to this podcast, then you are doing the right thing, basically. But if you're listening to us live, then again, you're still doing the right thing. But you could be playing Trials of Osiris to go and get the new submachine gun or the reprised Astral Horizon kinetic aggressive frame shotgun. So, yeah, Bungie wanted to let you know on Thursday when they dropped the tab that it was returning. It's returned. It's here until reset on Tuesday. So possibly if this is released on Monday, you've got an extra day to go and play some trials if you want. But what you really want to know
what do I really want to know?
Banner. You want to know about the banner returning. Now, if you listened at the beginning of the show, I did run you through how this Iron Banner is going to work this week coming up with the Iron Banner control and the two returning weapons. We have the Jorum's Claw pulse rifle and the Bite of the Fox sniper rifle. And the interesting thing to note is that the Jorum's Claw does have two origin perks. It has the Skulking Wolf perk and it has the Surah Synergy perk, as I kind of pointed out to you. So that might be interesting for people to go and have a look at.
It might be. And if you're still waiting for when's my freelance node going to be up, the fire team matchmaking has been enabled in trials, so they've removed the freelance node. Which have they said they're doing the same thing for Iron Banner? I'm assuming that's the same across the board. Of hey, we've fixed your
Iron Banner's always been matchmaking, but yeah,
no, it went last season. The last Iron Banner last season they removed it.
That's what I thought. They removed it and said, hey, we've got the fire team matchmaking now. That's what we're going to use.
Yeah.
To theoretically try to match.
They've always had a fire team
solos.
matchmaking. Yeah, it's never like you had to build a team and then go in.
Right, but now they're actually going to look at the fire team sizes versus just guessing as they've always done in the past on everything. Well, that's what I'm saying. They're saying that's what we've done. Have they done it? We'll find out. But allegedly, that's what's happening. But yeah, the trials is up this week. Iron Banner up next week. And remember, when Iron Banner's up, there is no trials. So you get your trials this week and no trials next week.
Right.
And we've got some contest mode emblems. So many emblems. Do you have an emblem? I have an emblem. We've got a player support report. All hail Nezarec, final god of Dadbod.
Dude.
You can tell they have fun writing these every week.
But have you seen him? Like, have you seen a picture of him yet?
I haven't, because I haven't
Oh my
been ready to
god,
see him.
he
But
looks.
he's a final god of Dadbod. I know all I need to know.
So you know Nezarec's in the helmet, right? You know the helmet for the Warlocks.
Intimately familiar with it, yes.
Okay, so when I say this, I mean it. You can put it in your brain. This is what he looks like. The chicken guy from Cloudy with a Chance of Meatball wearing Nezarec's sin. I am not even joking.
I have not seen Cloudy with a Chance of Meatball, so
Well, then
I have
you know
half
what?
of
You
the
just help.
reference.
I can't with you right now. Okay.
Well, you should. You should can better. Don't live in a world of can't. Live in a world of can. Because I'm going to live in a world of telling you about contest mode emblems.
Oh,
there was a contest mode for the Root of Nightmare raid that ran from March 10th to 12th. So you've missed it at this point. If you're going, oh, there's an emblem, there was an emblem.
If you're watching, it's the one that I'm wearing right now.
Yeah, so you must have completely, completed the raid and claimed the Horticulturist Triumph to earn a Good Night's Sleep emblem. Even if you defeated Nezarec, part of the challenge was also to complete the encounter and its wipe mechanic. Players who died during the wipe mechanic before they're able to fully defeat Nezarec will not receive a successful clear. Additionally, factors such as poor connection, joining raid in progress, etc., won't give you the thing. You had to have done the full raid, front to back, to get your emblem to drop while you were raiding. Now, if you weren't raiding, you could watch a whole number of people, including Respawn, get your Twitch drop emblem. Because it seems like they basically said, hey, we had this Twitch Rivals program, which was new to me. Not that I watch a ton of Twitch, but I hadn't seen the Twitch Rivals thing before. It seemed basically they went down the Destiny 2 directory and they were like, hey, if you're streaming the day one raid, we're going to, you're part of this Twitch Rivals program. Watch 2 hours of anybody and you'll get your emblems from that. You're either dim metallics or your particle acceleration Twitch drop emblems, which should be available and unlocked during watching the raid for Twitch. You had to link your Bungie profile to Twitch, which hopefully you've done in the past. If not, there was instructions in the 12 last week. And again, if you're reading this now, you've missed it, so maybe next time you'll be able to get these things. Your Destiny 2 Ritual Reset, Daylight Savings Time. We struggled last week with Daylight Savings Time, and I feel like I've just been off the entire week since. But the daily and weekly reset has been changed because the US is stupid and likes to change times around. We went from 9 a.m. PDT to 10 a.m. PDT, which is 1700 UTC or UTC -7 for those of you who play things that way. We do this twice a year. We move the hour around. So you think something happens at a certain time, it's now an hour different than it was. And we'll do the same thing again in the fall, unless we, through an act of Congress, stop doing daylight savings time, which is silly, and we should. In addition to daylight savings time, which is a known issue, we have another number of known issues. Some players are unable to lock the EDZ. It's the whole dead zone. It's dead to them. It's locked. The preservation mission. Say that
again. They're unable to access it?
Unlock the EDZ. The EDZ is locked to them. There's a giant padlock over the whole EDZ. They can't get there.
Is it really?
I assume for some players, yes.
Oh.
I assume Siva is involved in some way. Just like the preservation mission in the Throne World is also not available for newer players. I don't know what a newer player is defined as, but if you're a new quote newer player, preservation mission may not be available to you. Additionally, some players are unable to lock the Throne World. So I don't know what the EDZ in the Throne World did, but it doesn't want people to visit them. Returning veteran players do not have access to all weapon and ghost mods. Some of them, all of them, it's hard to say. Veteran players also do not receive the correct amount of lore books when they rank up for the first time. So you're missing lore books if you're a veteran player ranking up. Countdown and its variants are not added in the weekly Crucible challenge. So you can play it, but there's no challenge for it. Your Reservoir Burst Explosion with Subsistence can sometimes fail to activate on a kill. The Adept Trials of Osiris hand cannon is getting one less round in the magazine than the non-Adept version. Thus rendering it no longer Adept. Yep, still an issue. They still know about it. The grav lift on Neomuna is tied to its frame rate, causing players with higher frame rates to die upon landing. Serves you right. The mark all is seen button in collections, still not functioning. Still can't mark all is seen. The dimensional hippo grenade launcher can have a range masterwork. It should not, but it does. Non-Lightfall quests are showing up under the Lightfall category, still. Hunters that die and have strand reapplied will lose their first strand aspect, still.
My God. Still? Jeez, Bungie.
Hunter gauntlets with the thunderhead grips are still missing an ornament for armor synthesis. Certain heavy weapon archetypes still not benefiting from a third reserve mod. Players are no longer able to unequip the broken title. I'm sorry, no longer able to equip the broken title, so you cannot be unbroken. Unbroken is broken. We'll leave it at that. Your restoration reverts to a lower timer when reapplying the original source of the buff. Weapons can mark targets through Titan barricades, rendering them totally silly and useless.
That's that sidearm I was telling you about earlier. That specifically targets that sidearm.
Sure, okay. Yeah. Your threat of generation stops functioning on hunters for grenades that aren't grapple after using their super. Unpowered melees can produce faster melee combos in quick succession. That explains why I'm getting out melee by people when I have powered melees on. Good times. Players experience a black screen when previewing armor bundles on PS5. It's not for you. It's not for you. Equipping a large amount of decaying armor charge mods starts deactivating on tier 4 and 5 artifact mods. I ruined this last week trying to read it. Let's ruin it again this week. Equipping a large amount of decaying armor charge mods starts to deactivate tier 4 and 5 artifact mods from the player. So yeah, still doing that. Some players on Steam are unable to pass the class icon loading spinner on launch. Please send your DX diag to our help forum and go to the help forums because they're actively trying to figure out why. And commendations are grayed out as already given in some activities. They're also flat out broken in other ones, which we might have mentioned a time or two. And that was our known issues for this week. At least the known issues that are the most important ones we'll tell you about. They did fix a lot of things, but they didn't fix these things. Shall we tell? I guess we'll tell the people what they fixed, because now we're down to beautiful artwork and movies.
Would they fix? Nothing.
Oh, no, they fixed a couple things. We had Hotfix 7005 this week that went live on the 16th of March. Your seasonal exotic activity, they've increased the animation changes made to the data collection boss encounter in the variable exotic mission have had the potential to cause issues with photosensitive players, so that's no good.
Nope.
In your player's journey, they increased the drop rate for the exotic armor in the law sectors, as we mentioned, when playing solo. Fixed an issue that prevented the Vex Incursion countermeasures weekly bounty from resetting at rest. I'm supposing that from resetting at reset, I'm guessing is what that's meant to say.
Yes, that's what that's meant to say.
Listen, the bounty is resting and needs its sleep. Just like Respawn, it hasn't slept enough. Give it some time, it'll reset eventually. They also fixed an issue where the player's alternate characters could not progress the Hall of Heroes intro quest after interacting with statues early. Any player who's run into this issue will now be able to progress normally. For UI and UX, made adjustments on how return to orbit option is triggered after completing the specific battleground. Previous implementation enabled mistakenly skipping end of mission cinematics when returning to orbit from the commendation screen, which caused issues with people playing things in the campaign and made them get stuck, which is no good.
Not at all.
Yeah, we have some armor fixes. Fix an issue where some artifact mods were not properly proccing anti-barrier capabilities. For hunters, they fixed an issue your volatile ground granted by the Gerafalcon's exotic chest were not providing void weapons with anti-barrier capabilities.
Correct.
And your armor scavenger mod fixed an issue where the Jotun would get an unintentional boost in ammo, particularly in PvP, with the solar scavenger mod equipped on the player's chest. Put the toaster down.
Yes, stop bringing it in PvP, Micah.
For weapons, they fixed an issue where the Winterbite exotic glaive was doing more damage than intended to targets. For Titans, the bonus glaive melee damage granted by the exotic Syntheseps gauntlets had been reduced against both combatants and guardians. Sad face. Fixed an issue where the Lightfall versions of the Inquisitor and Mindbender's Ambition shotgun had incorrect magazine perks. Fixed an issue where the Grand Overture blinding effect applied to other sources of splash damage. No, come on, everything should be blinded. And we've got some ability fixes. In Strand, they increased the internal cooldown of the Thread of Ascent fragment from 2 seconds to 4 seconds. No, you didn't fix it, you just made it worse. It's an issue where after a player grappled to a thrown tangle, The Berserker's into the fray aspect would activate on further tangle detonations. That's a lot of words. Fix an issue where suspending detonations from the Broodweaver's Mindspun Invocation aspect were not properly stunning unstoppable champions. For Solar, they fixed an issue where the Radiant effect was not increasing damage to strange weapons. And fix an issue where the Threat of Generation fragment could stop functioning after a Silk Strike super deactivation, either the shackle or the threading with either the shackle or threading grenade is equipped. But you put hard words in Stranded. I don't appreciate you for it.
Shackle?
Oh, just everything. The struggle with daylight savings time is real. With Guardian ranks to more closely match the goals of Guardian ranks, we've reduced the required commendation score to complete across all ranks, as we told you about. Basically, your rank 8 objectives require rank tier 3 difficulty or higher. Fix an issue where only the tier 4 or higher apply to your rank progression, which is very silly. Players can no longer offer commendations to others with a failed mission activity, because make it harder to earn commendations. What? I can still have a good time and fail, Bungie. I can still have a good time and fail. Fix an issue where the Guardians and their weapons were not rendering properly, effectively making them appear invisible in-game. And your Twitch sub-bounty reward is now correctly applied and appears in the Cryptarch. So if you had a Twitch bounty and it wasn't there, it should be there now. You shall be able to see your friends in trials, so hopefully there's no invisible trials people running around. And that's been your Hotfix 7005. They fixed a lot of things, broke a lot of things, still can't give commendations in Gambit. Bungie. Yeah, and then we have some lovely artwork and lovely movies of the week, and yeah.
There is, I know it's a mainstay on our channel, but Plunder the Booty has a hunter build, which I think is probably one of the strongest ones I've ever played with. And you don't even need abilities. You need a Grafalcon's chest piece. You need the wave splitter, I think it's called. Yes, wave splitter. And that's basically it. Everything melts, everything explodes. You make tons of orbs for supers. It's amazing. So check it out, guys, especially my hunter mains out there. PP Pipe, you were talking about a build last night. Check it out and play with it, and it's amazingly strong. So yeah, have fun.
Yeah, Plunder the Booty completed the trifecta, now has builds for all of your classes, and they're just going to get better as we get more aspects and fragments to play with.
Oh yeah.
And Respawn, I've got some really bad news for you come this Guardian games.
No.
Because I've already seen calls for the Titans to win in honor of Lance Reddick. So I just want to prepare you for that potential opportunity. I just want to prepare you now that this may be a thing that happens. Also, this is my call for Guardian games to consist of Sparrow racing through Neomuna because it's beautiful and it should happen.
Yes. Honestly, I'm not mad about the Guardian games thing. I think it's warranted. If that's why they do it, yeah, it's fine. I'd give it to them.
You heard it here first. He's not mad about it.
No.
Tune in a couple weeks from now when he will be mad about it.
No. If it's in honor of him, that's one thing. If it's Titans being arrogant assholes, that's something entirely different.
I disagree. As a Titan, I don't think we should win it for Lance Reddick. I think Guardian games should just be Guardian games. But what I think should be done is that Bungie should send off Zavala in the best possible way that they can, in battle, doing something heroic to save us, save the city.
For once, yeah.
Just maybe it was something in the works that they'd already planned, but
something
I think
that doesn't involve a Titan bubble. Let's see him Superman smash into something as a sacrifice. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I'd like to see if unless they recast him just for like the story purposes, but I'd like to see something epic happen to kind of honor him and that character, because I don't honestly think they can carry on with somebody else doing the voice because of that. I think that
he definitely had a unique voice.
This is a good, point to kind of honor that character and not just to get it out of the game, but I think just to honor him as the character that he was. I think that they need to do an epic storyline, maybe something that he doesn't even speak about, just something he goes off and does. We see an epic cutscene, and Ikora's left kind of holding the Vanguard together. I think that's what it's going to have to be.
Well, Crow is helping her, so
yeah.
help
But
is
I
maybe
think
the
at the
word.
end of the day, I think the Vanguard is going to end up having to be disbanded, and it's just going to be Guardians versus,
Cloud
the
Striders.
Witness. Yeah. No.
Wow. So like since we're on the subject, if they had to keep him around for story purposes and
Yeah.
they had to revoice him, what actor would you choose?
Somebody that sounds like him.
Nolan North, obviously.
Yeah.
No, real answers only.
Yeah.
Like,
No.
for
No.
real.
That is a real answer. Somebody that sounds like him. You can't.
Who sounds like him?
Well, somebody that can impersonate him, obviously.
Plot twist. Peter Dinklage. Bring him back to voice Zavala.
Or
No.
it was all a dream, and Zavala was the one that died, and Bobby Ewing. Oh no, hang on, no, Cade comes back.
Nathan
That'd be
Fillion.
great.
There you go.
Yeah, and I did look up Mara Juneau. I think maybe that's the current Ikora Ray voice actress.
Yeah.
It's hard
She
to say. They're
plays
both
in
credited.
Firefly. She plays in
No, different one.
Yeah,
for Ikora?
Yes, Ikora was
Yeah.
the lady from Firefly.
Yeah, Gina
Oh.
Torres was the lady
Gina
from
Torres.
Firefly. Mara
Yeah,
Juneau
Gina
is
Torres,
not
that's
the lady
right.
from Firefly.
Oh
Yeah.
wow, I didn't even know that changed.
Yeah, I went looking. Yeah, Gina Torres is credited up through the last expansion, but is not credited going forward.
Ooh.
So
See, that's what I'm talking. That's a good answer. Morgan Freeman would make a good Zavala. Yes. Yeah, right. That's a real answer.
That's not
That's
a real
real
answer.
answer.
No, it has to
Yes.
sound like Zavala, or you get rid of Zavala completely
yeah,
and honor
no,
him in the game.
they're both too.
Oh,
They're both
Idris
too
Elba.
iconic.
Okay, I could get behind just Samuel Jackson.
No.
Yep, all good answers.
I think
No,
this is
No,
they're
there's
both-
not enough MFers for Sam Jackson.
It
So
can't be somebody that with a voice that iconic because if you're Morgan Freeman or Sam Jackson, that's who you are. There is no. You will never. I will never look at Zavala and go and say anything. See anyone but Morgan Freeman or Sam Jackson. It can't be somebody quite that iconic.
so
to
you want
change that
to
voice.
maintain? Okay.
Yeah, I mean, unless you give me a story reason why Zavala now sounds different, but yeah, no, I'm with 90, but I think give him a storyline where give him that epic sacrifice. Hopefully not just I'm gonna go into the Traveler and find the witness, and then we never hear from him again. Like give me give me that glorious death. Give me something to remember him by. That take the character out. As the commander we've been with since 2014, give him an honorable death.
Yeah, give him the commander status that.
He would not like a champ.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're gonna kill him, I think he deserves at least. Well, I don't know. I don't know if he deserves it. He hasn't really done much, but
biggest statue next to the tree.
shut up. No, I mean, if you're gonna be with Bungie for that long, you're gonna be in the game. You deserve a good death.
Yeah. An honourable death.
An honorable death. Yeah, good death, honorable death. Tomato, tomato.
Speaking of honourable deaths, do you
What's
have a
that?
Respawn's report roundup?
Do we now?
I've no
What
idea.
does that have to
Asking
do with
you.
honorable deaths?
Nothing, but I just wanted
Okay.
you to move on to that.
I dropped something in the show notes of just Bungie's statement on Lance Reddick's passing.
Ah, okay.
Lance Reddick was an iconic presence on screen, in Destiny, and most importantly, in person. His love for our community shined through Commander Zavala and his uncompromising dedication to his craft. And out of radiating kindness that touched those around him, to say he will be missed is a profound understatement, yet no less true. Rest in peace, Lance. And then it says it's from Bungie, but honestly, I think we could all get on board with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. And just for the sake of it, we need to drop this week. We need to go find the whole where he talks smack to Kaido and repost that. Just because it's so good.
You do that then.
Okay.
Okay. And whilst you go and do that, I will give some more tips, tricks, guides, and builds that I have found this week on YouTube's.
Ooh, tubes plural.
Yeah. Well, I've already gone over the other ones that we went through earlier on in the show. But I found another guide for you from a different content creator on week 3's action figures, because I thought, why are we sticking to one content creator giving you a guide and just giving you the full guide for each week? No, I'm going to give you
Because it
time
works.
I'm going to give you Time Such as Gaming's version of week 3's action figures.
I mean, you keep putting more stuff out there, then I'm gonna get confused. Just give me the one guy. You need a build, plug of the booty. Boom. Does Eeyore have builds? Sure. Does Grenadier Jake have builds? Sure. Do I want to know multiple people? No. Give me
Yes.
one name
Yes.
where I can
No.
look for stuff.
But this isn't just for you. This is for everybody.
Yeah, nobody needs more than one name.
You can be one of his sausages.
Yeah.
That doesn't sound appealing at all. What?
Time Sausage Gaming. We're all his sausages.
I know.
Marvelous sausages. Marvelous sausages we are.
Mm-hmm.
And 360 Gaming TV has the 8 lore book locations in the Root of Nightmares raid. So there's a guide for you for that. And the red bordered chests, which are guaranteed 100% to give you red bordered weapons from the raid. 2 guides there. There you go. One person, 2 guides. You're happy with that one?
Well, I mean, we already knew how to do that, but okay, sure, whatever.
Okay. I'm going to go and tell you to go and check out Cheese Forever, but there is a glitch that costs you your life that you might want to go and check out. It may be broken in PvP, especially for trials this weekend. If you see people killing themselves and then rezzing themselves, you know you're up against something. Go and check out that video.
An immortality glitch or something?
Not an immortality glitch, but a glitch to kind of generate orbs and fire sprites.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah, so you remember that thing of standing in the back of the map in the
Yeah.
trials map and just waiting for your super?
Mhm.
Yeah, I
Mhm.
feel that that's going to be something that's, yeah.
Lovely.
And did you know that you can insta-kill the Nightfall boss with a primary ammo in the Hypernet Current glitch? Again, thank you very much, Cheese Forever.
I do now.
Well, I'm currently fighting him right now. What do you do? What do you do? Tell me.
Well, I'm not Cheese, so you're going to have to go and watch the video.
No, I can't stop and watch it.
You can absolutely watch a Cheese video during a fight.
Yeah.
Actually, you're probably right. I promise.
It's just not that long. You can do it. I believe in you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The fight may be
Form
over before the
Factory
video is.
videos, Let's go.
So those are the rest of the ones that I picked this week for you guys to check out. And again, I will put them all in the show notes, and anything that we've talked about that it has a link will go in our show notes, as well as links to the 100.io and the other podcasts that I've mentioned, Potato Thumbs, there's Guardian Down, Guardian Hub. So yeah, there's all the links, and then there's the new links for the Lightfall DLC. So if they were looking for anything to do with the raid, anything to do with Neomuna, I've put it all in its own subsection, as well as subsections for Witch Queen and Beyond Light, and so on and so forth. As you scroll down in the many links that are there for guides and builds and tips and tricks and all those wonderful things.
So many things.
Peroty, have you got anything to tell the people?
Only that I was chastised by Nadar for not having watched the video that he dropped in about, I think, Bike's video on the Puka lore. So, there's lore about fish. If you're interested, you can go check out My Name is Bife, and he will tell you all about it.
See, I didn't watch
It
it.
wasn't
'cause
as exciting as I thought it was going to be.
I
Sorry,
was
go ahead.
hoping that Arf would be back to tell us about stuff, but I know he's very busy at the moment because he's only just got on in like week 3 to do some stuff. And I know I've been chatting to him on and off about lore and stuff. So hopefully at some point there will be some more lore coming from the Arf.
Until then, we have not our farce lore, which is not here. But we do have, I think it's the end of our show. I think we've made it.
But have you thanked the people though first? We need to thank the people before we go.
We always thank the people. The people are why we're here. The people at the lovely patreon.com/TTH, like the glorious Zep Orbit, the always listening, always there, right behind you, the T-Rex King, Dedicated Wham 64, the Scarlet KM, Star Vortige, Carver 2782, Wee Noble, Golden God 1562, Basically Salt, Zombie Pops, PP Pipe, Lord Master Chaos, and the Drifter Driftwood. They're always there, threatening, dancing, throwing grenades, and we appreciate them.
Wait, the Drifter Driftwood? I played with him the other day. I didn't know he was a Patreon. Oh my god, dude! I'm so sorry.
He is indeed. Now he may need to link his Discord to things. I don't know if I haven't seen him in the Discord secret Patreon chat where we have all of our secret conversations. It's not that secret, but yeah. So
he did the raid with us. One of these times we did the raid, he was with us. My guy, dude. Say something. Say, oh, dude, I'm your Patreon. Cool. Yeah. All he said to me was like, oh man, I listened to your show and I'm so glad I got to play with you. But I didn't know you was a Patreon, homeboy.
There you go. Now Respawn knows, and it will shower you with the proper level of praise and respect deserved.
Yep, he's not a Titan. That's good enough.
For about 2 seconds, and then
hey, him not being a Titan already puts him. Now, is he a hunter or is he a warlock?
I'm pretty sure he's a hunter.
How
Yeah,
how high is he in the Respawn book of respect?
pretty good. I mean, he was a good player. I appreciated him.
Well, thank you to all of those lovely humans, and thank you for joining us. Your Titans are Peroty and Nitdemon. Your hunters no one responds in real life. Our lore scribe is unable to talk to us because he's still making his way through the campaign, and until you unlock the campaign, you actually don't unlock podcast access, so we're working on that. You can email the show at twotitansandahunter@hotmail.com. We're everywhere you want to find us on the internet. YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, Facebook. We're here. We exist. We're out there for you. You can find our show wherever you get your podcasts. Follow us on YouTube each week for new episodes, weekly video updates, and all the live streams. If you want a nice British man to tell you what's happening next week, he will tell you. He will give you all the details on all the things. If you're looking for the show, twotitansandahunter.com. And if you want to join the Utter Dance Troop, threaten us with a good time, throw more grenades, join our Patreon, patreon.com/TTAH. Or if you just want to buy us a coffee, ko-fi.com/twotitansandahunter. And if you want the thrill of live action and spicy language and occasional D&D, head over to twitch.tv/no one respawns in real life. That's NO1 respawns in real life, all spelled out. And if you want to keep it family friendly like a proper British gentleman should, head over to twitch.tv/twotitansandahunter. Or, follow us on YouTube and you will get all the things when all the streams happen in their full lovely glory. Until next week, any exciting updates to tell the people? Do you want to say goodbye 16 times? Give the people your closing thoughts.
No, I'm good. Just, deuces, as usual.
Alonzi.
Two Titans and a Hunter, a Destiny 2 podcast.
So my closing thought is, aiming ruins my immersion. Respawn. Reloading ruins my immersion. Peroty. Nitdemon, what ruins your immersion?
Not being able to gain that triumph.
Put on the t-shirt. Ship it.
Okay.